Last night, the Royals' king crowned Andy Pettitte twice, and after 4 straight wins, it looked like the Yankees lefty was ready for a tumble. But Tino came to the rescue once again, giving the Yankees 3 runs with 1 swing. Casey's bid for a comeback was squashed as Scott Brosius stepped on third for a double play, leaving the Royal skipper steamed and calling for some luck of his own. And then the straw stepped out from the dugout and put the game out of reach. Just another ho-hum win. Today, the Bombers look for the sweep next. MSG Network presents New York Yankees baseball. And this afternoon, the Yankees take on the Kansas City Royals in the 3rd game of a 3-game set. The Yankees have the brooms out, looking for the sweep. It'll be Ramiro Mendoza, the right-hander, against the veteran right-hander for the Royals, Tim Belcher. It is a gorgeous day here in Middle America. About mid-70s and perfect baseball weather, shirt-sleeve crowd as they look for the Royals to try to snap out of this funk that they're in. And the Yankees are putting a lot of teams in funks, I'll tell you that. They have won 18 of their last 20. They're playing great baseball, and they're doing it all without the home run from Bernie Williams and Paul O'Neill. But who knows, that might happen today. But you really can't be that picky. Last night, the Yankees had it all, winning 12-6, and that's their 18th win in their last 20. And the big blow, though, the one that they're always going to remember, is going to be Darrell's home run. But before that, you're going to look at the controversy on the tag-up play. Here it is right now. It's the 6th inning, a fly ball to Paul O'Neill. Mike Sweeney is at third base. You watch, O'Neill makes the catch. That's when Sweeney leaves. But third base umpire Brian O'Nora, he didn't think so. The throw was late, but when the Yankees appealed, they said out, so it was a double play. Tony Musa said, "You're wrong, O'Nora," and he got tossed. And he was angry. But then it was all pretty much for naught because Darryl Strawberry comes up the bench in the 9th inning, out of the clubhouse, into the batter's box, and he hits a grand slam to put the game away. It's really been that sort of season for the Yankees. And, you know, for us, though, we always want to have our first team. The Knicks, they don't have Larry Johnson today. They don't have Mills, been suspended. But we have the size, we have the depth, and we have our first team up in the broadcast booth right now. The 2 big guys, Ken Singleton and Jim Cott, they'll call all the action. Hey, guys.
All right, thanks a lot, Michael. Thanks for that good report from field level. The Yankees are a very professional group. Right now, they know that everything is going their way, but in the back of their mind, they know they have to stay prepared every game and not let go. And probably one of the most professional hitters they have in that lineup is Tino Martinez.
Not only professional, but one of the hottest hitters as well. Tino Martinez got off to a little bit of a slow start like the ball club did on the West Coast, but ever since the Yankees returned home, the Yankee Stadium, he has been on fire. The other night against the Seattle Mariners, a game-winning hit in the 10th inning, and last night here, Tino was on fire again. Had 3 hits in the ball game and came through with one of the biggest hits of the night against the Royals here in Kansas City. 3-run shot. They're trying to pitch him inside. It hasn't been working for the Royals. This one gave the Yankees a 6-2 lead at the time. They were on their way to the 12-6 win, and Tino Martinez has been one of the hottest hitters in the league.
Last night, 3 for 5 with a home run and 3 RBIs, and there's the season stats. 2nd in the American League, on his way to another MVP-type season. Well, not a lot to cheer about if you're a Kansas City Royals fan, but they have one of the great baseball names and one of the exciting young players in the league, and Johnny Damon coming off a 4-hit game.
And his manager, Tony Musa, made a move with Johnny Damon last year. He moved him to the top of the order when Bob Boone was managing. Johnny Damon was batting 6th and 7th. Well, this guy has great speed, and he also has some power. Hit a home run, the only run the Royals got in the opening game on Friday, and last night he was on fire some more. 4 hits in the ball game, including a double. He only had 12 doubles all last year. He has 8 already this season.
The 3rd 4-hit game of his career last night. He's having a great series, 5 for 8, 9 doubles in the 1998 season. Well, veteran Tim Belcher will try to stop the bleeding for the Royals. Ramiro Mendoza takes the mound for the Yankees. Yankees trying to get the broom out and sweep this series before they head to Texas. We'll have it for you on MSG when we come back.
American Express Small Business Services. How can I help you?
How can I help you?
Right. We only work with small businesses.
Why don't we start with your cash flow?
And our equipment financing plan will help spread out the payments.
That'll definitely give you more flexibility.
How about setting up a line of credit?
We can do that.
Then I'll put you in touch with one of our CPAs so you can start getting ready for tax time.
We can always make adjustments when your situation changes.
Call 1-800-SUCCESS to find out how American Express Small Business Services can help you do more.
Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. I want to be a part of it. New York, New York. I want to wake up in a city that never sleeps and find I'm a number one, top of the list, king of the hill, a number one. It's up to you, New York, New York, New York.
The Tax Time Blues. Four- and five-star tax-free bond funds from American Century. Just call. Thank you. 1-800-660-0092.
Welcome back to Kansas City. That is the discussion between the umpires and Tony Muser. Notice that Chris Chambliss, who took the lineup card up for the Yankees, has already returned to the dugout. And Kenny, we've seen this before. This is one of those situations where Tony Muser wants to get his say in for what happened last night. Well over 2 minutes he's been holding court with the umpires, and I think he's just venting a little frustration. This can't possibly help him for today's game.
No, because you get on the wrong side of the umpires going into a ball game, and the situation with the Royals, they've been struggling. Everybody's struggling against the Yankees. You're going to need all the help you can get today on those close calls. You might get one, but Tony Muser, you know, he's moving his hands, he's bobbing his head, and the fans can see he is somewhat agitated. And the umpires know that. They know that he's, in a way, kind of showing it up.
Yeah, I think the best thing you can do as a manager after a situation like that is come out and say, beautiful day for baseball. Listen, guys, let's have a good game, and kind of show them that you put that behind you. But Muser's had his say. The umpires were very calm. They exchange a little high five at home plate before they take their positions. And we will be set to go here with game 3 of this 3-game series. I saw Muser walk down in the tunnel. I didn't see any ejection sign at home plate. But we're looking right now at veteran Tim Belcher. You see his record in 6 games. He's had 4 solid starts and a couple of bad ones. It all adds up to a win and 3 losses in the rest of the numbers. A classic veteran pitcher. He'll give you lots of innings. He'll give up some hits, some long balls. Yankees remember him from a spring training outing where they pounded him for about 9 runs in 3 innings. And here's the lineup that Joe Torre has posted today to go against the veteran righty. Couple of changes. Homer Bush leads it off. He plays second. Then Jeter O'Neill and Tino Martinez. Bernie Williams bats 5th. Darryl Strawberry's playing left field today and batting 6th. Then Tim Raines, Jorge Posada, and Scott Brosius. Starting lineups brought to you by Bob Stores. Great buys on brands you wear.
In the field for the Royals this afternoon on a beautiful day for baseball here in Kansas City. You can see the infield, Palmer, Martinez, Offerman, and King. Turner doing the catching. The outfield, Morris, Damon, and Sutton. Belcher on the mound. And it's going to be Chris Turner. And you can see that the young man with that black eye, he got that. He was hit by a pitch by Juan Guzman in Toronto. And when they took him to the hospital in Toronto, they thought he was a hockey player. They're used to seeing that.
That's
in hockey,
right.
yeah.
Not for baseball. Boy, and he hung in there. He said he just froze, and it pushed that batting helmet right against his eye. But the 29-year-old catcher is behind the plate today. And the first pitch to Homer Bush in for a strike. Chuck Knobloch, as Michael Kay pointed out, bothered a little bit by an old injury. sort of a bone bruise on one of the fingers of his glove hand. So he'll get a rest today. A little jam shot up the middle. This could be tough for Offerman, and he's Homer Bush continues the everything's going right by the Yankees with a little broken bat single that went about 85 feet to lead off the ball game.
Well, Homer's only had 4 at-bats during the course of the season. He's come on to pinch run and late inning defensive replacement to give either Knobloch or Jeter a rest. But right here, his 3rd hit of the year. He's only been up 5 times. He's hitting .600. And plus, when he smells that base hit, he can get down the line. That's why Joe Torre will not hesitate to use him as a pinch runner late in ball games.
So a good start for Homer Bush with a little broken bat single. Derek Jeter will step in. On the run. Stolen base, taking advantage of the inexperienced catcher, and Homer Bush with a great jump. The running Yankees are at it again.
Not hesitating at all. Belcher delivers to the plate, and Bush is off and running, and the throw is offline. So there's no chance to get Homer Bush at second base. His first stolen base of the year.
And those of you that have been with us during the first part of the season aware the Yankees are leading the major leagues in stolen bases. Another jam shot. This one's going to be hit hard enough for Offerman to make the play, but it's a productive out as Jeter advances Bush to third. Give you today's umpires lineups. They're brought to you by NAM, the National Arbitration and Mediation, most timely, cost-effective way to settle your legal disputes. Don Dinkinger, the crew chief, Rick Reed, Tim Cheetah, and Brian O'Nora involved in the controversy last night. He's at second base. Dinkinger, the veteran umpire. And there's Brian O'Nora. So early on, Tony Muser will play his infield in with 1 out here in the first inning and try to cut down the potential lead run. Here's O'Neill. Average now over 300. Outside for a ball.
You mentioned that start that Belcher had in spring training where he gave up all the runs to the Yankees. To show you how much spring training means to a veteran pitcher, he came out and went 7 shutout innings against Baltimore on opening day at Camden Yards.
Off speed pitch. He is the kind of pitcher that every team in baseball, I think, would like to have on his staff. There's the little scouting report on that classic veteran pitcher. He's got a little Keyshawn Johnson. Just give me the ball. Every 5 days. He did not like being taken out of his last start. He's primarily a same speed pitcher, and you know from hitting, if you have a guy that does not change speeds a lot, you feel a little more comfortable against him.
I think what we're seeing right now from Belcher is a veteran type move. He's going to be very careful with Paul O'Neill, and I would think that O'Neill has the hit sign 3-0 with a chance to drive in a run.
And he does, but it's right at King. King can't handle the ball, and Paul O'Neill will reach first base on the air. A little snapshot of how this entire series has gone. Everything right for the Yankees, nothing right for the Royals. One of the best fielding first basemen in baseball can't handle it.
Well, it's a broken bat. O'Neill did have the green light, but watch as King comes up with it cleanly and can't make the throw, and all hands will be safe. In his haste to make the play, Bush was going as soon as the ball was hit, so he was going on contact, and Jeff King trying to make the play couldn't throw the man out. Wow.
And Tino Martinez will step in. A little extra on that little grudge fastball. Tim Belcher's broken 2 bats and hit Derek Jeter in on the handle, and he's down 1-0 with a man on and only 1 out.
O'Neill will get an RBI on that play.
Off-speed pitch in for a strike. Tino said on Friday night the Royals tried to pitch him up and in. Pat Rapp pitched a good game and some cut fastballs, and he was missing him. So he felt like last night the Royals said, we got him out Friday that way, let's try it again. And all 3 hits he got were on similar pitches, up in the strike zone and middle of the plate in.
Adjustments.
There goes O'Neill. Now he bluffs and holds up, but Martinez, another broken bat. O'Neill with that great jump gets to third. The Yankees are running the pillows as well as stealing bases. They're really taking advantage of every opportunity. 3 broken bats, 3 hits, runners at the corners, and 1 out.
Well, let's see where the pitch is. It is looked like a sinker or a changeup going away and off the end of the bat. Tino gets just enough of it. And O'Neill off and running. Then hesitates, sees the line drive to right field. Then he's on his way to third. It looked like he maybe didn't feel like he had the jump and held up. But then he sees the ball in the right field in front of Larry Sutton, and the Yankees have runners on the corners.
I don't know where the Yankees stored their bats last night, but they've got 3 pieces of firewood for the long winter. Bernie Williams, the average over 300. That's low and in for a ball. Everyone concerned about Bernie's power production except Bernie and hitting coach Chris Chambliss. He said, I like the way he's swinging the bat. You probably went through periods like that where you're swinging the bat well, but if you don't quite get it elevated, it doesn't go out of the ballpark.
Yeah, that and plus the fact that he's been scoring a lot of runs. Had 3 hits here last year. There's nothing wrong with a 3-hit game.
No. It's not like he's the guy in the lineup they're saying, hey, we're looking to you to hit the long ball. I mean, there come a time when they would like to have him, but I think that the worst thing would be right now for Bernie to get overly concerned with not having a home run.
I think when you think back to last year with Cecil Fielder, they were looking for the home runs from Cecil because that's what he does. Bernie Williams not only hits, he gets on base, steals bases, plays a great center field, a Gold Glove center field, steals bases. There are more things that he can add to the offense. So that's why you don't get overly concerned with the fact that he hasn't hit a home run yet.
Probably hitting here 3-0 with Strawberry on deck. 4-pitch walk. Well, let's check the record books. When's the last time? I guess I might have been there in 1961 when Jim Gentile hit back-to-back Grand Slam home runs.
Well, this is last night in the top of the 9th inning, and that increased the Yankees' lead to 6. A 435-foot grand slam. Minutes before that, Darryl was in the clubhouse sitting on the couch.
Getting mentally prepared. Get on the hands. Fouled out of play. That'll reach the seats. I guess another guy that could identify with having a night like that is the bullpen coach, Tony Cloninger. A thrill for a pitcher to hit a couple of grand slams.
Yeah.
O'Neill's at third. Tino Martinez at second. Bernie drew a walk. He's at first. And Belcher ahead in the count 0-2.
I believe Tony Cloninger did that at then Candlestick Park against the San Francisco Giants. The only pitcher ever to hit 2 grand slams in a ball game. And I think he drove in 9 runs that day.
That's a year's worth for most pitchers. Left field. Morris is coming on, and it's going to be too shallow for O'Neill to try to score. That's the second out of the ball game, and the Royals finally get a little break. All those broken bat hits, and that went into short left field.
Well, Hal Morris, primarily a first baseman in the National League with the Cincinnati Reds. Over here with Jeff King playing first, Morris has moved to the outfield in DH, and he shows a pretty good arm. Hits the cutoff man right on the numbers.
Tim Raines, the designated hitter today. I think Michael Kay covered that in the interview with Joe Torre. He felt like Strawberry could play left field today on the grass. A complete day off tomorrow. So preserve those knees. Raines loops this out into short left field. Johnny Damon coming on, and he makes a fine sliding catch. Wow, Tim Belcher says there is justice. He gets out of that with 1 run thanks to that inning-ending grab by Johnny Damon. Another look at it. Yankees lead by 1. Royals coming to bat when we come back on MSG.
Insuring over
people worldwide.
There are millions of reasons to fly today. Only one that matters to you. At Delta Airlines, it is our pleasure to get you to the place you want to be. Delta Airlines, on top of the world.
Nobody does it like you.
Wind tunnel by Hoover is here. It's breakthrough technology. Tests show it picks up more dirt than any other clean air upright.
Nobody
Wind tunnel by Hoover.
does it like you.
New York Yankees baseball is brought to you by the irresistible taste that makes you say, did somebody say McDonald's? By American Express. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, American Express helps you do more. By your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealer. There's only one Jeep, and it's only at your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealer. And by Nobody Beats the Wiz Home Entertainment Center.
Nice look at Kauffman Stadium. Ideal baseball day. Fresh air, green grass, temperature in the 70s. You're looking at Ramiro Mendoza. Makes his 6th appearance of the year. Still looking for win number 1. A lot of hits. Not too many strikeouts. Needs to keep the ball down to be effective. And here's the lineup he'll face. Johnny Damon leads it off, and Jose Offerman. Hal Morris bats third. Jeff King, the veteran Terry Pendleton is the DH. Dean Palmer, Larry Sutton, Chris Turner, and Felix Martinez rounded out. First pitch swinging. Johnny Damon fouls it straight back. That one home run came in Friday night's ball game against Hideki Irabu. That's the only run the Royals scored. Mendoza working quickly. That pitch low, and it's 1-1.
Should be able to tell as we look at the scouting report on Ramiro Mendoza what kind of stuff he has. Concentration factor, sometimes caught in between.
Grounded to Tino. A couple of hops, makes the play, 1 down.
And we'll check out the defense behind Ramiro this afternoon for the Yankees. Now we start in the outfield this time with the Yankees. They're going to have Strawberry in left field, Williams in center, and O'Neill in right. Brosius, Jeter, Bush, Martinez, Posada doing the catching, Mendoza on the mound. There's a look at Homer Bush, who we've already seen. He's come around and scored the Yankees' first run. Can play second or short. Has plenty of range in the field, and you know, during the course of spring training, you thought he might get cut, but he doesn't have any options left. So the Yankees held on to it.
First pitch to Offerman, roll for a ball. Homer grew up in East St. Louis, Illinois, as a St. Louis Cardinal fan. Outside 2-0, and as you might imagine, he said, I wore number 1 and I wanted to play shortstop like Ozzie Smith. That was his original position in the minor leagues. Boy, Mendoza, you hit on the concentration factor, which tends to be a problem with Ramiro, but Posada's got him working very quickly. Just a bit low, and it's 3-1. I think we could develop that a little more on his scouting report. He can cruise along for about 3-4 innings, and then it's all of a sudden he's like it's a different pitcher. He outside, and a 1-out walk to Offerman.
Needs better command of his off-speed pitches. Sometimes he can't get them over it, falls behind on the count. Then they sit on the sinker, and when he has to throw a strike, sometimes they come up and they get hit hard.
And the caught in between really is his role on this ball club. He's still a pitcher that I don't think the Yankees are sure whether he is better suited to start. If you look at his record, his numbers the last couple of years, he's much more effective out of the bullpen. Here's Hal Morris. In for a strike. You called him the creeper, Kenny, because of his footwork, and he honestly does not realize he does that. It's something he's done his whole career. He concentrates so much on balance, keeping his shoulders level, and seeing the ball that what he does with his feet, he doesn't even think about. And that's a Hal Morris type of swing. I mean, he is the epitome of the left-hand hitter that will hit down on the ball and drive it to left field as opposed to fly balls and pop-ups.
You mentioned not even thinking about what his feet are doing. I wonder if some of the great dancers over the years, their feet just did it. You know, that's
Gregory Hines, I don't think he's saying, let's see, where does this foot go, that foot go? Average now down to 414. That's since he left the Yankees. He got his first hit as a Yankee, 1988, slide step, and that's fouled at the plate, 1 and 2. But over 1,000 hits. He's one of those rare players since Joe D's 56-game hitting streak that has one of at least 30 games in his career.
Back in '88, he was called up 3 times by the Yankees, and that first hit came against Dwayne Ward of the Toronto Blue Jays. Everybody always remembers their first hit.
Remember your first one?
Yeah. Single to center field off of Steve Renko of the Expos,
who I believe is living right here in Kansas City.
He was a all Big 8 quarterback with Kansas University. His job was to hand the ball to the Kansas Comet. Gale Sayers.
Wow, pretty good duty. Hit well left field. Strawberry has it measured, and Darrell makes the catch. Offerman's going to advance as the throw came in a little late. Good heads-up play by Offerman. Darrell caught that ball in deep left center and just couldn't get much on the throw, and Offerman took advantage of it.
Well, Offerman's a good base runner to begin with, and he can see the ball is fairly deep. Now, if Strawberry actually comes up throwing and accurately, he can turn around and go back, but the throw is offline, and he's in the second standing up. Here's that footwork you were talking about, Kitty.
Yeah, creeping up. That back foot moves first. You mentioned, I don't think there's any other hitter that approaches it that way with his footwork. Here's Jeff King, 2-home-run game in last night's affair, both off Andy Pettit, and he is hitting in the cleanup spot today. Tony Muser has dropped Dean Palmer down to the 6th hole. Off-speed pitch. Nothing like the sights and sounds of a ballpark on a nice afternoon like this. You know, you hear the vendors in the background.
And this is going to be the best crowd of the 3-game series. What's that he's selling?
Looks like a little ice cream. Frosty malt. Hit sharply. Jeter in the hole. Played well. The throw is in time. That's solid left side of the Yankee infield. Jeter makes a nice play there. And the Royals strand one here in the bottom of the first. We've played one. The Yankees lead it by a run.
Hi, Rick Majerus, coach of the Utah Utes. I've got a big appetite for sports, but an even bigger appetite for Fox Sports News.
Midnights on MLB.
Never before, possibly never again. Financing on the right side of the point. 0.9%. Financing less than 1%. 0.9% for 48 months on Taurus and Ranger. You want the car? We have the financing. 0.9% for 48 months on Taurus. You want the truck? We have the financing. 0.9% for 48 months on Ranger. You must not miss this. Hurry to your local Ford dealer.
Win all summer long with Abbott's Summer Freeze. Enter in the Summer Freeze Grand Prize drawing, and you could win a beautiful custom-built deck by Proline Construction. Look for your entry form in the May 3rd and June 14th D&C insert, your Time Warner Communications July bill, or visit any participating Abbott's to enter. But wait, there's more. Peel and win all summer long. When you buy an Abbott's sundae or milkshake, it could make you an instant winner. Abbott's Frozen Custard, always the best.
Life is tough. Every day stress abounds. You need a chance to unwind, a chance to find your comfort zone. At the Comfort Zone, you'll find gorgeous linens and handcrafted beds. These beds are designed with unique finishes and created to last a lifetime. Choose from the largest selection in Western New York. At the Comfort Zone, you'll also find futons and futon accessories, and we have the largest selection in the area. The Comfort Zone, where quality is affordable. The Comfort Zone, Midtown Plaza.
That shot tells you what kind of day it is. Shirt sleeves, a lot of youngsters on hand. A reminder, New York Yankee baseball brought to you in part by Toyota. every day. That's when you play this game between April and October. You play it every day, except for a rare day off here and there.
Yeah, day off so you can travel to the next town.
Jorge Posada leads it off in the second. And the first pitch low for a ball. Average down, but good power production for the amount of time Jorge plays. Foul out of play. We've talked about his swing, Kenny, and last year he tended to lift the ball. In other words, his back shoulder dropped and he got underneath the ball. I think Chris Chambliss has worked with him on keeping that swing a little level.
I saw him this afternoon before the game in batting practice, and Chris was talking to him, and he was making that movement with the trail hand of bringing the bat down through the zone like that.
Fouled out of play. Yeah, unless you're a pure power hitter, a Mark McGwire type, there's not a lot of money in the air. The money is hitting those line drives on the ground, and then occasionally, like Derek Jeter does, occasionally you lift one and get it out of the ballpark. And on the hands. So far, the pitching pattern would lead you to believe. Nice play. Yeah. A glove, a cold drink, and a baseball.
Didn't spill a drop.
Who could ask for anything more?
Yeah, you deserve one.
The hat trick. Good splitter. And Posada down on strikes. First strikeout of the game for Belcher. Let's check out our New York Marriott Marquee pitching matchup. That's how Mendoza has done against the Royals. Tim Belcher has not fared too well in his career against the Yankees. Wonder how people realize Tim Belcher actually was a Yankee when he was drafted back in 1984. Here's Brocious. Those were in the days when if you lost a free agent, and the Oakland A's lost a free agent Tommy Underwood, left-hand pitcher. He went to Baltimore, so you got a compensation pick from anybody in the league, and Oakland picked Tim Belcher off the Yankee roster back in 1984. He was the first overall pick in the draft of '83, but opted not to sign with the Minnesota Twins. Ball and a strike to Brocious. Hit well down the line and should be in for extra bases. Morris will play it out of the corner, and Brocious will have a standing double with one out here in the Yankees second.
Now you talk about your classic hanging breaking ball, and this one kind of hung up for Brocious just to jump all over it. Belcher with the delivery. The target is low and away. Looked like a splitter that kind of hung up by Dean Palmer down the line. There's a signal by third base umpire Tim Cheetah. And the Yankees have another runner in scoring position. Boy, right on the ball. Pitched a little bit on the outer half of the plate. But Brocious right there with the swing.
Here's Homer Bush for the second time. That's in for a strike. Sixth double of the year for Brocious. And this series has given a little insight into how Scott has returned to his 1996 form. He's using the entire field, getting some hits to right field as well as pulling the ball. Talking about the trend so far with Belcher, and you can follow the foul balls or the broken bats and tell that his object is to get ahead and pound the ball inside, try to get in on the hands. You see how durable he's been in the last 10 seasons.
Leave a trail of broken bats and sawdust.
Got him. High fastball. And Homer Bush down on strikes. That's the second out of the inning.
When a hitter comes and plays in a ball game he hadn't played in a while, Homer Bush very rarely starts for the Yankees. He tries to make the most of every swing, and you get much too anxious. He's pumped up for today's game because he's starting it, and he sees the fastball, he sees it, swings at it, although it's out of the zone.
Jeter with a ground out. That advanced Homer Bush and helped produce a Yankee run as Bush scored on an infield ground ball. outside for a ball. Chris Chambliss says one of the adjustments that Derek has made, you remember fans last year how he would dive into the ball so much, especially on the outside pitch, and this year he is stepping a little more toward the pitcher, not diving into the ball as much. As a result, maybe not as many broken bats, and he's able to turn on the inside pitch a little better. Last year he didn't get his 4th home run till game 79, so he's well ahead of that. Checked that 2 years ago in his rookie year. Might end up wearing one of those shin guards if he gets too many of those. That fouled off the instep, and it's 2-1.
Last night during the rain delay, for fans who were with us, 17-minute rain delay, we were fortunate to have Buck O'Neill, former Negro League player, and I mentioned to Jeter what Buck had said about Derek, that he thought that he was playing shortstop as good as anybody he's ever seen. And there's Buck back watching today's ball game. So very impressed with Derek, and Derek was quite impressed that Buck O'Neill thought that much of it.
High compliment from a classy, knowledgeable guy. I like his new lid.
Yeah, wow.
Nice lid, Buck. You look like Charlie Sifford. He ought to be out on the links with that hat. He's at just about every ball game, making some notes. I'm heading down to that museum after today's game down on 18th and Vine. In on the hands. Martinez with a strong throw in time. Nice play to end the inning, and the Yankees go scoreless in the second. We head to the Royals half of the second inning. Yankees lead at 1-0.
You want a performance car, but you need a family sedan. What you need is a 98 Ford Taurus. It's got a 200 horsepower, 24-valve V6 engine with more power than Camry or Accord. And it's got room for 6 grown-ups or plenty of kids. So if you like to think fast, but you've got to think family, then think Ford Taurus. See your Tri-State quality Ford dealer today, where there's more to afford. Now, for the first time ever, you can get 0.9% APR on any new Ford Taurus. Hurry, this low 0.9 on Taurus won't.
They have substance, integrity. They're the individual pieces that contribute to a greater good, making lives less worrisome, futures more secure. They are the agents of New York life. Their humanity is the stone with which this company was built. They are why New York Life is the company you keep.
Nobody does it like you.
Nobody has harnessed the power of the wind like Wind Tunnel by Hoover. A breakthrough in cleaning power. Hoover tested Wind Tunnel against other leading brands. The difference is remarkable. Others scatter much of the dirt, but Wind Tunnel channels the power of the wind, picking up more dirt than any other clean air upright. Only from
Hoover, nobody
Wind Tunnel by Hoover.
does it like you.
At Chase, your company is in good company, like Gourmet Garage, a member of Tom Seaver's Business Hall of Fame. Chase, the right relationship is everything.
Well, just in case you wondered where Al Troutwig was, you thought he was down in Miami. He's masquerading today. Now, that's the San Diego Chicken performing during the game here in Kansas City. But speaking of Al Troutwig, first we'll get the leadoff hitter in the second inning here for the Royals. It's Terry Pendleton. Knicks are up by 8 in the fourth quarter with about 6 minutes to go, and that's where our colleague Al Troutwig is. And first strike, 1-1. And we want to remind you that you can watch the MSG Sports Desk playoff special edition of the Knicks Heat postgame report. That'll be tonight at 7 o'clock on MSG. Pendleton's average, 1 home run, the 37-year-old veteran. Outside, 3-1.
The original starting lineup had Pendleton as the third baseman and Palmer as the designated hitter. Well, as we start the ball game, they've switched it. Palmer's at third and TP is DHing.
And draws a walk.
26, the third baseman, Dean.
He's had quite a career, Terry Pendleton, 37-year-old veteran, most valuable player in 1991 as a member of the Atlanta Braves. Gold Glove third baseman. But the years have caught up with the knees, the back, the hamstrings. Palmer takes high for a ball. And here's that concentration factor we talked about. He's walked Pendleton, and first pitch to Palmer is a ball one. Ramiro seems to have maybe one inning where he has a little trouble finding that strike zone. Ripped the foul. Nice. Oh, bobbled it. Almost a nice play.
With Mendoza with Palmer at the plate, a power hitter. When the leadoff batter has reached base against him in an inning, the opposition has scored 8 out of 9 of those innings.
So this game is 1-1. Inside corner, strike 2. Well, his nickname is Brujo, and that means witch doctor. And the reason they call him that is his ball, that you never know what way it's going to move, which way it's going to move. It'll sink down and in, it'll sail. The natural stuff is there. It's just a matter of harnessing the control and keeping it down around the knees.
Is there the possibility that his ball moves too much at times?
I think it can. I think every pitcher, you'd like to have a lot of movement, but you want to have say a cross seam pitch that's outside to go to just throw a strike, like he had Pendleton 3-0. You want that cross seamer. And young players are taught, you were probably taught as an outfielder, to hold the ball across the wide seam because you don't get as much lateral movement. Pitchers that hold it on the narrow seam, you can tend to get that sinking action. Just missed. The strike zone, I think, will be a little tighter today anyway. Veteran Don Dinkinger behind the plate, not known as a pitcher's umpire. The balls that are near the corner when he's back there are balls. Brian O'Nora on Friday night, the close ones were strikes. See if Pendleton is on the go here with a full count. And he is. Broken bat toward third. No chance to get Pendleton at second. Brocious is throw in time to first, and that's one down in the Royals second as Pendleton moves up to scoring position.
Tony Muser having the runner on the move avoids the possibility of a double play with Palmer at the plate, and Ramiro Mendoza, of course, a ground ball pitcher. Now the tying run moves into scoring position with one out.
And a good-looking young hitter. We say young, he's 27, but baseball or major league experience, he's still a rookie. Out of Santa Ana, California, played his college ball at the Fighting Illini. Two-hopper to Tino. He'll win the race to the bag, and out number 2 as Pendleton moves up to third base.
And I think, Larry Sutton, you mentioned the inexperience at swinging at that first pitch on a sinker ball pitcher on a pitch that started out low and went lower. And all he could do was top it and get that ground ball. With sinker ball pitchers, you got to make them bring that ball up. Make them bring it up. And with an umpire like Deckinger behind the plate, you can do it if he doesn't get the close ones called strikes.
Chris Turner will step in. Breaking ball outside. Now I would think another, if you were a rookie, Kenny, you came back to the bench, one of the veterans would say, hey, the guy just went 3 balls on each hitter. Why don't you make him throw a couple pitches? Hit well. Left center field. Bernie Williams on the run, and the wind is going to knock this down a little bit. That looked like he was headed for the warning track. Just a long out. Mendoza escapes the second inning despite the leadoff walk. 1-0 Yankees.
To the box, open and goal for Giovanni Sabanese.
Wanted. Drivers with good, bad, and ugly credit. No matter what your past credit history, call Auto Solutions toll-free at 1-888-423-AUTO. Your reward? Pre-qualification for instant automotive credit. It's fast, it's easy, and it's absolutely free. 1-888-423-AUTO to be pre-approved today. The Auto Solutions Auto Loan Phone is completely automated, so it's hassle-free and completely confidential. This is your chance to reestablish your credit without the pressure of a salesman or the hassle of paperwork. First-time buyer, divorce, repossession, slow pay, even bankruptcies. Call now. Even with less than perfect credit, you can pre-qualify for the pre-owned vehicle you've always wanted. 1-888-423-AUTO. Call Auto Solutions, the loan arrangers, for your reward. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Friday's always like this? This place is nuts.
Oh, yeah.
Who are those guys over there?
Oh, they're here every Friday. They're huge Weekend Outlook fans.
Oh, it's on.
Oh, here we go. Here.
Let's take a look at what's on tap for your weekend.
Come on, baby K. Stay cool, stay cool, stay cool.
Warm weather, come on. Stay low.
Hello, warm weather, right there. For the weather anytime, watch the Weather Channel on Time Warner Communications.
Stadium from the waterfall and fountain out in left center field, and a reminder that New York Yankee baseball is brought to you in part by your local Chrysler Plymouth dealers. That is the attraction for the youngsters on hand, is the famed San Diego Chicken. I love his act, but I'd rather see it in a minor league ballpark. You referred to that between innings.
It's cute.
Yeah, players and umpires are nice enough to go along with it, but it's become very much of the attraction at minor league baseball. When you take a family to the ball game, you see a lot of extra entertainment. The entertainment up here ought to be these guys in the uniforms. And there's a couple of good ones here. Belcher against O'Neill, former teammates. First pitch in for a strike. Both members of the Cincinnati Reds. Of course, Tim Belcher in his career, because he's moved around, what gets lost a little bit is what a factor he was for the Dodgers in 1988 when they won the World Series.
He's their second best starter behind Oral Hershiser.
Off the ground in front of home plate, chopped out to Offerman. Belcher getting a lot of broken bats and a lot of ground ball outs with that fastball and splitter. That's one down in the Yankee third, and it brings up Tino Martinez. Here's your ex-manager's favorite play right here, Kenny.
Right here, 2 men on, and a 3-run blast, and a little hop, skip, and a jump out of the box. That's Ernie Young with the last look. Good pitching, good defense, and 3-run homers.
That 3-run homer made it 6-2 Yankees. They win at 12-6. First pitch high for a ball. Backing up as his ex-teammate Ken Griffey Jr. is, backing up the MVP year with a similar type start. 1-1. Now Belcher's into a little better groove. His strength, as it should be for any pitcher, is down and away. He'll pound that fastball down and away to get ahead, and then come inside, throw the splitter to, there it is right there. And he's, if I were guessing right now as a hitter, I'd say you might see a splitter down and away.
And you know, he's moving the ball well around on Tino, very well. Got a call strike low and away, tied him up and in, but he can't stay in one area too long. He's not that overpowering.
Splitter hung high, 1 and 2. There are some hitters, and ouch. Get out of the way, Joe. Or is that Soho?
That's Louis.
Man, he's had enough problems with his getting hit on the hands. Looked like Joe Girardi for an instant. There's the splitter, and he got him. Good sequence by Belcher. Used the fastball to get ahead and the splitter to put him away. 2 down.
If there are 4 zones, 1, 2, 3, 4, he used all 4 during that at bat with Tino. Up and in, down and away, low and in, moving the ball around, and struck him out.
Good point, because that's what you have to do against the Yankee lineup. There are some lineups and some hitters where you can get a guy out one way time after time. but the Bernie Williams, O'Neills, Martinez, you can't do that. Into the bat, hit out into right field, and you're going to catch up with it. Looked for a minute like it might carry to the wall, but Sutton makes a nice running catch. Bernie hit it well, but he didn't get all of it. And the Yankees go in order in the third. We head to the Royals half of the third. Yankees lead it 1-0.
This week, the paper will be extra heavy from all the savings at McDonald's. Just look for these great money-saving coupons. You'll get big deals like a Big Mac or Quarter Pounder with cheese sandwich for just 99 cents. So look for the insert in your Sunday paper or mailbox. Did somebody say McDonald's?
Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. I want to be part of it. New York, New York. I want to wake up in a city that never sleeps and find I'm #1, top of the list, king of the hill, #1. It's up to you.
Look tough, gotta take off, gotta check out the stuff.
Gotta go to Moe's. For the best selection of Yankee t-shirts, hats, jerseys, jackets, and more, you gotta go to Moe's.
Gotta go to Moe's.
This week, the paper will be extra heavy from all the savings at McDonald's. Just look for these great money-saving coupons. You'll get big deals like a Big Mac or Quarter Pounder with cheese sandwich for just 99 cents. So look for the insert in your Sunday paper or mailbox. Did somebody say McDonald's?
Welcome back to Sunday afternoon Yankee baseball here on MSG. 1-0 Yankees. We move to the bottom of the third, and Mendoza will face young Felix Martinez. Can you imagine, Kenny, you see that average 148 playing in the big leagues when you've only been swinging a bat for about 4 years. He was a soccer player. That's outside for a ball, and Tom Poquette, the Royals hitting coach, working with him yesterday, trying to get him to be patient, say, hey, you haven't been playing this game that long yet. They love his fielding skills and his arm. Center field, Bernie shades his eyes from the sun, puts it away, 1 down. And the lineup will turn over, and Johnny Damon will come up to the plate. Here's our Hoover pickup of the game. And that bailed Tim Belcher and the Royals out in the first inning. A nice grab by Johnny Damon.
Third time in his career he had 4 hits in the ball game. Of course, that came last night.
2-0 now. If he played in the 50s, he'd be linked with Frankie Avalon and Frankie Valli and Johnny Damon. Sounds like he ought to be singing in that era. Ground foul, 2-1.
Maybe that on Vine Street here in Kansas.
That's
City,
right.
yeah.
Buck O'Neil get him in the Jazz Hall of Fame down there. He's got one of those wiry live bodies. The ball jumps off his bat. He's got terrific speed. Played his high school baseball down in Dr. Phillips High School, Orlando, Florida.
He's going to play every day against lefties and righties and bat right where he is now, leading off.
It's the only way you will become a good player and get the ability to hit both kinds of pitching, and the Royals can afford to do that. I mean, this guy's got to be one of their marquee players down the road. You mentioned last night Bob Boone tended to shelter Damon a little bit, put him down in the lineup, didn't play him against all lefties. Now he's in there every day. Hit well in the gap in right center, but O'Neill's going to get over there in a hurry and put it away.
A little unusual for Ramiro Mendoza, as Johnny Damon has flied out 3 fly ball outs in a row, 2 to center, 1 to right. And Jose Offerman having trouble with the donut. I've had trouble with donuts during my life too.
That donut is that metal ring, and actually I'm trying to think of the exact year. I want to say back in the late 60s, but the gentleman that gets credited for inventing that donut is the late Elston Howard.
Yeah, that's right.
It was metal, and then they came up with a nice rubber or vinyl coating to go over it, and that is what the hitters use in the batting circle. Reminder, as we get into the fourth inning, Susan Waldman will join us during the middle innings and fill us in on her story of the week, player of the week, and a lot of interesting things that go on in Yankee land. 2-0 to Offerman.
You notice that Offerman wears number 30. He was given number 30 when he joined the Dodgers, when he got called up. And that was the number that Maury Wills used to wear with the Dodgers. That shows you how much they thought of Offerman as a potential shortstop for a long time. Well, eventually he got over here to Kansas City, still wears number 30.
And for a strike, 3-1, and has become a very good second baseman.
Played a little bit at first until Jeff King nailed down the job.
Grounded out towards second. Homer Bush is there, so Mendoza comes back from the 3-0 count. The Royals go in order for the first time today. We've got 3 in the books here at Kauffman Stadium. Pitchers in charge of this one. It's 1-0 Yankees.
10 seconds remaining. Allen Houston at 3. Bang! Allen Houston ties it up.
You're watching MSG Network.
We're all over it. We're bored. Can we do something tonight?
Costs too much to do something.
Well, how about going to a movie?
$11,200 to see a movie.
Can we go bowling?
How many games?
2?
$9,720.
Ouch. I've got it. We'll order pay-per-view.
Pay-per-view. The whole family, one low price. Now that adds up.
Come on, kids. Gather round.
The whole gang can do it when you pay-per-view it.
Each year, the Wegmans Rochester International plays host to the top names in women's golf, presenting this year's winners. Every year, proceeds from the tournament support the Rotary Sunshine Camp and Camp Hakamo. So, when you buy a ticket to the Wegmans Rochester International, not only are you seeing world-class golf, you're helping some very special kids enjoy their summer. The Wegmans Rochester International. For ticket information, call 427-7100.
I sell this place all the time to my friends.
The first thing we wanted to look at and see was the swimming pool. That was the only thing we thought about it.
The first time I walked into one of the apartments, I was in awe. Marketplace is about 10 minutes away, and Wegmans is probably about 2 minutes. It's wonderful. I don't have to worry about a furnace. I don't have to worry about a roof. I don't have to worry about my appliances breaking. They take care of all that.
Blueberry Hill Apartment Homes off Route 252, where living is truly carefree.
Back in Kansas City, it's over in Miami. The Knicks blew out the Heat, extending that lead. They win at 98-81. And a reminder that tonight at 7 o'clock, our MSG Sports Deck special edition of the highlights of today's Game 5 can be seen at 7 o'clock on MSG. And who can be seen right now is Susan Waldman joining me here in the fourth inning. So you follow that team.
After running up and down stairs, actually Miami got it down to 2 at one point before the Knicks put it away.
And the heroes were who? Allen
Houston and John Starks. And as John Starks goes, so go the New York Knicks. 22 points for Starks.
Strawberry, broken bat looper. Martinez back, will make a nice running grab. Boy, Tim Belcher is leading the league in broken bats in today's game. Sawed off Strawberry there, first out of the fourth inning.
It's a fine play by Martinez, and you can see on that play, Kitty, why Tony Musa wants him to play every day. They've got they could put Shane Halter in there, who actually hits better than Martinez, but they're trying to let this kid play every day.
I mentioned Kenny, he's only been playing baseball for about 4 or 5 years. He was a soccer player during his youth in the Dominican. There's Raines, designated hitter today. That's in for a strike. You pointed out how John Starks goes, so goes the Knicks. That's the advantage Joe Torre has. He does not have one player that he has to say, this guy has to carry the ball club. Well, you go up and down this Yankee lineup. They don't have to depend on just one man.
Also, this is a great example right here. Timmy's got a little hamstring twinge, they call it. So Torrey goes to Raines and says, what do you want to do? You want to play left field or you want to DH today? And Timmy says, well, I guess I'll DH. So you put Darrell at left field, give Curtis the day off.
Grounded right back to Belcher. Throw to King in time. As this game moves along, the catch that Johnny Damon made is going to become more and more important. The Yankees on the verge of having a big first inning. And that catch ended the first inning, and Belcher got out with just 1 run. That's where we stand.
And that's another player who has really benefited from being under the guise of Tony Muser, because Boone would put Damon first, he'd put him fourth, he'd put him sixth, move him to right field, move him to left field. Now he just plays every day in center.
Interesting how different managers approach players like that. As you saw Tony Muser in your shot, Posada fouls that out of play. Dallas Green was very much the same way with young players like Roberto Kelly. They tended to shelter him and shield him and put him down in the lineup, not play him as much. You have Muser, who was a part-time player, I think realizes how important it is to get out there and play every day.
You can see Tim Johnson's doing that with Shannon Stewart in center field, also in Toronto.
Ball and strike to Posada. There's our Toyota box score. Homer Bush with a broken bat single will lead it off as the only Yankee run. Tino Martinez and Brocious also have hits. Hit well in the corner to right if it's fair, and it is a home run for Jorge Posada, his 4th, and it's 2-0 Yankees. Wow.
That's one of the reasons that Jorge Posada plays like he does. This guy is going to have 20 homer power at some point, particularly from that left side. What a shot.
You see where Turner wanted the pitch inside. That's where it was. Posada turned on it. High and deep. Brocious first pitch swinging. Fouls that out of play. Kenny and I have talked a lot about Jorge's swing, and last year he tended to get under the ball a lot more. You can just see the improvement that he makes game by game. That's outside for a ball. Talking with Jamie Quirk, the Royals bench coach, and they go over some of these organizational meetings, and he said Posada's name was one that always came up. Would be a much sought after catcher if the Yankees chose to let him go.
You know that I was sitting in Luke Pinella's office when Seattle was in, and he said, you know, the worst regret I have is that we started to insist on Posada in that Tino deal, and then I said, okay, let him go. They should have insisted.
One and 2 to Brocious. That's inside. 2 and 2. Well, scouting, I mean, it is so, you just have to be lucky in some cases. You do the best job you can as a scout, make recommendations, but it's so difficult to project. See Bart Johnson, Kenny Kravec, Mike Paul out of the major league scouts. That's fouled out of play. Try to project what a young player is going to be like. Look at all the #1 draft picks that have really ended up being busts, right? Or some that take a long time to develop, like a Jeff King.
Big article in the New York papers today about the difference between the Mets taking Paul Wilson or Ben Grieve.
Sure. In the dirt.
You know, talk about Posada and getting under the ball last year. He was so hard trying to impress people playing once a week, and you can't really get any kind of a swing going playing once a week. I would think trying to prove to people that you belong in the major leagues. I think his turnaround came when Joe Girardi got hurt. He got to play every day.
Full count pitch. Hit well down in the corner, deep left field. Looking up is Morris. He's going to play it off the corner. Brocious will have his second double of the game.
Once again, a Yankee turning on a Belcher ball, and this is how Belcher gets in problems. That fastball is very, very straight right down the middle of the plate, and Brocious can just turn on it. Now that has got to be his problem, because he's always had a straight fastball, and now as he gets a little older, Kitty, I would imagine it's easier to turn on, and he can't hit his spots the same.
I think what we're seeing, Susan, is a good quality lineup that's able to adjust. Belcher's broken about 4 or 5 bats, and I think now the Yankees are saying, okay, if you're going to keep throwing in there, we're going to look for it. Strike one to Homer Bush. Tim Belcher has had a good fastball, but you're right, not a lot of movement. He tries to get it to sink, has added a splitter to his repertoire, but he has been very much a same speed pitcher during his career. Not a lot of off-speed pitches. There's one, and Bush pulls it foul. If you're looking for the Knicks post-game show right now, they won the game 98-81. Wait till 7 o'clock tonight, our MSG Sports Desk special playoff edition with Al Troutwig, who made the trip today from Kansas City to cover the action down in Miami. He will host our special playoff edition tonight at 7 o'clock. Hit well, right field. Sutton on the run, leaps and makes the grab. And the Yankees are down here in the 4th, but Jorge Posada's 4th home run of the year extends the lead to 2-0. Back on MSG after this.
American Express Small Business Services. How can I help you?
How can I help you?
Right. We only work with small businesses.
Why don't we start with your cash flow?
And our equipment financing plan will help spread out the payments.
That'll definitely give you more flexibility.
How about setting up a line of credit?
We can do that.
Then I'll put you in touch with one of our CPAs so you can start getting ready for tax time.
We can always make adjustments when your situation changes.
Call 1-800-SUCCESS to find out how American Express Small Business Services can help you do more.
We'd like to clear the air about compact sport utility vehicles. Ford Explorer is America's sales leader, has been for the past 6 years. It has an available V8 engine, something Pathfinder and 4Runner don't even offer. In fact, it beats them both in room and comfort as well. Even has more towing capacity than Cherokee. The '98 Ford Explorer, clearly the perfect choice. See your tri-state quality Ford dealer, where there's more to afford. Now with low 1.9% financing, you'll feel even more comfortable in the '98 Ford Explorer.
Cavatelli and a zesty tomato sauce.
This is my son.
Zesty tomato sauce.
The actor.
We have a
He's going to be
cavatelli
big.
with a zesty tomato sauce.
Very big.
Waiter.
Of course, it's going to take 4 years of acting school.
Excuse me.
At $100,000.
Hey.
That's $100,000. 5 zeros.
Good evening, madam. Ma'am. Ms. We have a cavatelli in a zesty tomato sauce.
He better be big.
Call for our new low rates.
Nobody does it like you.
In test after test, Wind Tunnel by Hoover picks up more dirt than any other clean air upright.
Nobody
Wind Tunnel by Hoover.
does it like you.
Well, the Royals championship flags flying out beyond the outfield wall in Kauffman Stadium. The Yankees lead 2-0, and they have probably been the story in Major League Baseball, Susan, the Yankees in the last couple of weeks.
Sure have, and that has got to be our story of the week, and that is the Yankees winning 18 of their last 20 games. And that 1-4 start, Kitty, seems like 100 years ago, doesn't it?
Came out of spring training talking about going 162-0, and then they lose 3, and like everybody, well, what's happened with this ball club?
Well, Chili Davis had actually said when he was with Minnesota the year they won, they actually went to the coast and were 1-9. And then, of course, they won, what, 15 straight or 14 straight?
They pounded, and this would be hard to believe because these are two pretty good ball clubs now, Cleveland and Baltimore. They pounded Cleveland and Baltimore in a couple of back-to-back series and won 15 in a row. It's 2 balls and a strike to Morris, and that's what you have to do, catch these teams that are down right now and hammer away at them. That's what the Yankees are doing. Left center field, that's going to drop in for a hit. The Royals first, and Morris will have a stand-up double to lead off the Royals' 4th inning.
Morris was already second in the American League, coming in at 4-11, and this is why the Yankees liked him, and he came up in the Yankee organization. Here's the pitch from Mendoza, and it stays up, and he just turns on it and whacks it to left center field. He was always a very, very good hitter, came up with the Yankee organization. Of course, there's Don Mattingly at first base. Morris was a first baseman. Lou Piniella told him to go down to the minors and get a left fielder's glove.
And it's paid off. If you notice, with all that footwork that Hal Morris uses, if there's some young hitters looking at what makes him a good hitter, the head stays level and the shoulders stay level. He's really able to focus in on the ball. Here's Jeff King. And on the hands, pop foul near the seats. Tino will give chase, and he's going to run out of room. Checking that lumber. Boy, it's a broken bat kind of day. RBI leaders normally are your first basemen. The power spots are first and third, and that graphic tells us some of the great years the first basemen are having. McGuire, Tino Martinez, Jeff King, and the big cat, Andres Galarraga.
I was sitting in the Kansas City radio booth when King made that error, and they both looked at each other, Denny Matthews and Fred White, because he's the most consistent infielder also on this team right now at first base.
Tony Muser said yesterday he felt Jeff King was the best fielding first baseman in the American League, and I'm trying to think of who might be better. Maybe David Segui is pretty slick over there. You can see what King is doing, and I don't know that Tony Muser wants him to do this. He's the cleanup hitter. He is trying to hit the ball the other way and advance the runner with a man on second and nobody out. But if you're the cleanup hitter, I think Tony Muser would say, hey, don't give yourself up. You're the guy we want to turn on the ball, hit some extra base hits, and knock the run in.
And does that give some kind of subtle message to the rest of the lineup if your cleanup hitter is trying to play for one run moving over to third base?
Well, late in the game, you can see him doing
right,
that.
But not now.
No, they're down 2 right now. Again, in on the hands, and King fouls it out of play. Well, if the Yankees would win today, and the Texas Rangers, if they would have to win, we'll check out the Royals Toyota box score. Morris has the only hit. Pendleton's drawn a walk. That would set up quite a series in Arlington starting Tuesday night. Both the Yankees and Texas looking for their 20th win of the year.
This is going to be a very good test for the Yankees. The first real test, wouldn't you say, playing the Rangers? That
gets away from Posada. That nice off-balance throw, but it's a little late. Well, Jorge played that as well as he could, but that ball missed the strike zone by 3 feet.
And a very good heads-up play by Hal Morris at second base, taking that extra base. Way off about 2 feet to the right of Posada. He goes and gets this nice pickup by Posada. Sets as quickly as he can, off balance, but nice throw. So often you see catchers pick those up, throw off balance, and throw them away.
Now, after getting ahead 0-2, Mendoza misses the strike zone with back-to-back pitches. It's 2-2. Hit well to straightaway center. Bernie Williams on the run. He's near the track. Looks like he has it measured, and he does. But Morris will trot home easily with the Royals' first run. And it's a 2-1 Yankee lead. RBI number 29 for King.
Now you see Bernie going over, and the wind's actually taking that. The wind is blowing out to right field. Bernie looks like he has it all the way, just a couple of steps from the wall there. That glide of Bernie.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to appeal on that one. Morris may. In fact, he's looking back at the umpire to show him that he did. Royals are still a little chapped about that call they got last night from Brian O'Nora. Strike one to the veteran Terry Pendleton. Now a ball and a strike. Another reminder, the Knicks won game 5 today, but tonight at 7 o'clock you can see our MSG Sports Desk special playoff edition. The highlights of that game. Al Troutwig will host that.
And even as we speak, Al has got his trusty camera talking to somebody right now.
No doubt. I have no doubt. Good off-speed pitch there, 1-2 to the Royals' designated hitter. Tapped out to the mound. Easy play for Mendoza, and that's 2 down here in the Royals' 4th.
The third baseman, Dean Palmer.
Dean Palmer will now step in for the Royals with 2 down.
Dean Palmer, always a streaky, tough hitter, but just a below average fielder, and really has taken a step backwards this year if you watch some of the Kansas City games and talk to some of their people.
Strong arm, but I guess Yankee fans will always remember the wild throw down the first baseline in the division series in 1996. This is hit deep to left. Strawberry looking up, off the wall. Bernie will play it on a hop, and Palmer will have a standing double. Only the wind blowing in from left to right kept that ball in the ballpark. That ball was smoked.
And that's why you live with that kind of defense, because he can do that at any moment. And when he hits homers, he hits them in bunches. It's not a terrible pitch by Mendoza. It's on the outside part of the plate and the lower, right around the knees. Palmer just goes and gets it.
Missed being a home run by about a yard. That would have tied the ball game. And now Palmer at second base with the sweet swinging Larry Sutton. Not a lot of big league time yet, but this guy's got a good looking stroke. Said to Kenny Singleton last night, we always had an expression in the dugout, he looks hitterish. He's got that closed shoulder. You can almost see his number. He's got that front shoulder tucked in, stays very, very quiet. For a strike.
This is a great story. A first baseman, never played any place but first base, got our outfielder's glove this spring, made this team, told Tony Musa, let me try right field. And he's made some tremendous plays out there.
Made a nice catch today.
Made one last night.
Left field, looped in. Strawberry on the run. He's going to make a running grab. Mendoza survives the 4th. The Royals get on the scoreboard. We've played 4 in Kansas City, 2-1 Yankees.
True, there are other ways to reduce your car insurance premiums instead of calling Geico. Geico Direct. A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Baby, I keep them to myself. Sweet nothing. Ooh, sweet nothing.
Yankee fans, the Yankees want you to join their official fan club for kids. There's 2 packages to choose from. The double play with lots of great stuff, and the Grand Slam, well, it's got even more. Yankee caps, t-shirts, ticket discounts, and there's even an official newsletter. So if you're 16 or younger, ask Mom or Dad to sign you up. Call 201-784-9600 for more information. That's 201-784-9600.
The famed San Diego Chicken on hand today, entertaining the young fans and a good crowd in Kansas City. Yankees lead at 2-1. There's the big score for basketball fans. Knicks win at 98-81. Big afternoon for Allen Houston and John Starks. And if you're wondering where the post-game show is, Al Trautwig is putting it together right now. We'll have a special edition tonight at 7 o'clock. Special edition on the MSG Sports Desk of all the highlights and interviews from Game 5 of the Knicks win over the Miami Heat.
And it's so much sweeter doing it down there, isn't it? Right there, right in front of Pat Riley and everybody.
I guess of all the series that are going on right now in basketball, there is no more heated rivalry, no pun intended, than that one.
You bet. You bet. Of course, now they have to figure out how to guard Chris Mullin without Larry Johnson for a game.
Derek Jeter will lead off the 5th for the Yankees. And again, an inside pitch and a foul ball. The Yankees know now what Belcher's MO is. He is coming inside with the fastball, try to get ahead and then put him away with that splitter.
He hasn't changed very much over the years, has he?
He will sometimes, if you look at some of the scouting reports on him, his strength really is the fastball down and away where Turner wants it now. There's a splitter tapped out to short. Martinez throw a little bit high. King catches that, and there's one down in the Yankee fifth. Full afternoon of action in Major League Baseball, and let's check out some of the scores. Mo Vaughn with his 9th home run. The Red Sox lead the Rangers by a run in the 8th inning of that one. Tampa Bay has doubled up Cleveland. Baltimore leads the Twins 2-0. Rafael Palmeiro a home run in that ball game. O'Neill looking for his first hit. Ooh, good pitch to hit there, fouled it straight back. Talking to Don Zimmer around the batting cage before. I mean, that is the most enjoyable. I wish every fan could go down and hang around the batting cage during batting practice for about 15 minutes before a ball game. Hit well out into right field. Sutton is on the run. He's at the track, and Paul O'Neill has his first home run of 1998.
And that is also home run number 200 for Paul O'Neill. He's been waiting for that for a very long time. Joe Torre was saying yesterday, I wish Bernie and Paul would hurry up and hit that first home run.
That'll make Chris Chambliss a happy man, the Yankee hitting coach. And almost like a sigh of relief, and O'Neill says, I finally got it over with. That increases the lead to 3-1. So the Yankees have answered that Kansas City run in the bottom of the 4th. First pitch to Tino. Goal for a ball. I think O'Neill is saying, you know,
I didn't go far enough? What?
I think he's saying I hit it a little on the hands. It didn't have that home run sound to it, but he hit it in the right spot. And the ball's hit from like right center field toward the corner and right. The wind is going to help him a bit.
I hope they get that ball for him. I don't see anybody going out there.
Off speed pitch, 2-1. I was talking about the conversation around the batting cage, and I said to Don Zimmer, wouldn't you like to have, if you're managing 25 players like Paul O'Neill, because you know you're going to get that maximum effort every pitch, every at bat, every game. He's not always going to run every ball hard to first base. That's part of his nature, but it's too late in his career to change that now. And of course, it's good to hear that the Yankees are entering into some discussions about extending his contract and having him end his career as a Yankee.
And that would be perfect. And when you think about when Paul came here, I remember when he was traded, his wife told me that Paul came home and Neville was crying. They didn't want to leave Ohio, but they just love it here. Love it here. Paul said the first day he went out in the outfield, opening day, he had tears in his eyes with what was going on in the stadium.
Always a traumatic experience the first time a player gets traded, because your first thought is somebody's given up on me. And then it takes you a couple days to realize that, but somebody else wants me, so I must still be pretty good. Looped out into right field. Tino Martinez has a 1-out single. The Yankees starting to make the adjustments now, as Belcher has tried to consistently pitch inside. Let's look at this pitch.
And it's inside, but it's up, and O'Neill just turns on it. So, you know, how much further would if he had to put that inside for him to really get it on the hands? And
probably the width of a couple of baseballs, maybe just one. But I think the strength of one of the strengths of this lineup is Belcher watches it leave the yard.
He knew, didn't he? Oh, man.
It's a sickening sound if you're a pitcher.
Of course, they were pretty good friends in Cincinnati.
Right.
I remember when Paul came here, when the Yankees were thinking of trading for pitchers late in the year, he always would go to management and say, what about Tim Belcher? He's a real competitor, but knows him pretty well.
Count to Bernie is 1 ball, no strikes. It's fouled out of play down the left field line. It'll even it up at a ball and a strike. This Yankee lineup, and we've seen them do it for the last several years with the veterans they have in there, is they they adjust. Even a veteran pitcher like Belcher, I think, realizes that that second and third time through the batting order, you better go to a different pattern. Right up the middle. Martinez cuts it off. Taps second. The strong throw to first, and an inning-ending double play. Halfway home here at Kansas City, we head to the bottom of the fifth, and Paul O'Neill's first home run of 1998 has extended the lead to 3-1.
Insuring over 40 million people worldwide.
The guy at the dealership said it has one of the most technically advanced automatic four-wheel drive systems in the world. Now, I live in Los Angeles where it doesn't rain too often and it snows, well, like never. But should something really weird happen and LA gets covered with ice, you'll want to be driving with me.
Nobody beats the Whiz. Use your Whiz Privilege Plus card and say yes to no. No money down, no interest, no payments for 90 days on all purchases. In every department up to $3.99. TVs, camcorders, VCRs, audio, portables, and more. Or for 6 months on any purchases of brand names from $399. It's time to say
yes, yes, yes
to service, selection, and great prices at Nobody Beats the Whiz, a Cablevision company.
Great afternoon for baseball. Blue skies, green grass. New York Yankee baseball is brought to you in part by, speaking of grass, Snapper. Anything less just won't cut it. Ramiro Mendoza takes the hill for the 5th inning. He's held the Royals to just 2 hits. First pitch in, a knee-high strike to Chris Turner. See that?
Look at that eye.
Yeah, that shiner. Kenny Singleton pointed it out at the start of the game. Those of you that missed it, he was hit in the face by a Jose Guzman fastball, and it pushed that batting helmet right in.
He's also got 6 stitches in the first at bat as a Kansas City Royal.
He was quite a prospect for the Anaheim Angels. 7th round draft pick back in '93. Not a kid. He's 29 years old. That's a 3-pitch strikeout. A little good morning, good afternoon, and good night by Ramiro Mendoza, and that is his first strikeout of the game.
The shortstop, Felix Martinez.
In case you just joined us, this is the exchange. That was about a 2-minute dialogue. I can't call it a dialogue because all the umpires.
It's a monologue.
Yeah, you got it.
He let him go, though. He let him go. He let him get his piece.
Tony Muser venting his frustration with what happened last night on the controversial call. And there's his quote, Susan.
And there's the quote of the week. He told me not only did he leave early, he left a step and a half early. That's what Brian Honora said to Tony Muser yesterday. Now, I got a question for you, Kitty. The third base coach, Rich Dower, ran right into the dugout after that out. Didn't argue, didn't say a word. Tino is so positive. I know the television showed another thing.
He's hit the center field. Martinez first hit of the game.
But why didn't Dower say anything if it was so obvious that he didn't leave early?
Good point. Maybe Rich Dower, maybe he was looking at the fly ball to see what position Paul O'Neill was in. You see O'Neill catches the ball over his right shoulder. He couldn't get in really good throwing position, but very clear from our 2 shots that Sweeney held up.
See, now Dower doesn't move. You can see him as Sweeney went by there. Doesn't move. Tino is already gesturing. I remember this from yesterday. I can't see on the screen, but Tino was already gesturing, as was Andy Pettit. It's very peculiar. I know that the camera shows one thing.
The eyes can play some tricks on you sometimes, can't they? But I think in Dower's case, he may have been looking at the outfielder, and then as soon as the outfielder catches the ball, he says go, you know, to the guy on third base. So he's, I think, more interested in where the ball is than looking at Sweeney's foot on the bag. Count 1 strike to Johnny Damon, now quickly 0-2. But that happens so often, and the umpires are amazing in the calls that they get right, the bang-bang plays at first. You see it at first with the eye from up here, and you say, no way, he was way past the bag. And then you play it over, and you find out, no, they're right. So sometimes the eyes really do trick you, and maybe Brian O'Nora got tricked on that one.
Well, I don't know what he saw. He made the call right away, and it takes a lot to do that in somebody's home park, and that quickly and that positively.
And usually it has to be quite flagrant. I mean, it has to be a noticeable leave the bag early to get an umpire's call. Good off-speed pitch. That's 2 strikeouts in this inning for Mendoza. Now maybe all of a sudden he gets into the 5th inning and losing a little velocity and getting more movement.
And that's what they want him to do anyway. He gets in trouble when he overpowers and tries to push the ball. He also has quickened his pace, hasn't he? He's not as slow.
I noticed that right from the start, that Posada's done a good job of popping those fingers down there and getting them to work quickly. Martinez is thinking about stealing second base. He keeps leaning toward second. You can really see the inexperience of a player like Felix Martinez, who mentions only been playing baseball about 4 or 5 years. A raw talent. He'll really telegraph his moves over there at first base. Offerman takes ball 1.
You can see Jorge keeps looking into the dugout, looking for a sign, keeping an eye on Martinez.
Kenny Singleton will join Susan in the 6th inning. We'll talk about your player of the week. A lot of possible selections.
Candidates.
Yeah, that's outside. It's 2-0. Now you've got Tino Martinez, the way he's been hitting. Darryl Strawberry with his monster home runs. But usually it comes down to those guys that pitch well at the end of the ball game, determine how you're going to do as a team.
Well, who's had a better comeback in the last week than Mariano Rivera?
Nobody.
Nobody. So let's give it to Mariano Rivera.
He's come back throwing the ball better than he did before he went on the disabled.
How about this? In 4 save opportunities, there was the win when he did give up a hit, but in the 4 save opportunities, he retired all 12 batters since his comeback.
Wow. And he is your player of the week.
And boy, is he glad to be back.
I think the difference I see in Mariano is last year he had never been a full-fledged closer, and maybe there was that little bit of question in the back of his mind, can I do it? But coming off the season of last year, he is a much more confident closer, and that's understandable. That's in for strike 3.
How about the fact that when a pitcher has to learn to pitch through pain for the first time and you're being depended upon? A couple of years ago when he pitched, if he was hurt, all right, you got Wetland, somebody else can do it. But now it's he. He is the guy. So you have to go through that 1 year of learning how to pitch with a sore shoulder, sore elbow.
Offerman draws a 2-out walk. Like Mendoza and Posada looking at Denkinger, those pitches where they wanted them, but they didn't get any of the calls. Now they're facing Hal Morris, the hottest hitter in the Royals lineup, with 2 men on and 2 out. Getting back to your point, I think what Mariano is developing, and all short relievers have to do it, is learn to get hitters out with more than just, say, their number 1 fastball. He's added his slider, tried to change speeds a little bit more, so that those days when you're warming up in the bullpen and you don't have that good live pop, you can still go in there and say, I feel confident I've got a way I can get them out. Same location. And here is that sometimes funk that Mendoza falls into. I mean, 2 strikeouts in this inning, and now all of his pitches have missed to the outside. He doesn't appear to be making any adjustments right now. 1 out from getting out of the 5th inning and qualifying for a win. That's on the corner. It's 1-1.
He's staying on the outside part of the plate there, and Morris can take the ball anywhere. He can cover that plate as well as anybody. He'll take it to left. He'll go the other way. He'll pull it.
You see, with all that foot movement, you can see the steady head that Hal Morris has. Shoulders stay level, head stays steady. Gets a good look at the baseball. Outside again. If you're Hal Morris right now and you've been in the on-deck circle and in the dugout, every pitch that Mendoza has missed with has been on the outside. So if I'm in his shoes, I'm saying I'm looking outside and I'm going to try to line it to left field. See if Posada changes. And there it goes, but just foul outside of third base. And even the count 2-2.
You can see Posada jumping up and setting up to the outside of the plate just as Mendoza's letting the pitch go. There it is. Now watch him. He shifts his weight there right on the outside. He's standing on the outside part of that plate.
He's gotten a couple of strikeouts this inning with the changeup, and let's see what Posada and Mendoza opt for here. Fouled straight, fouled out of play.
Now, wouldn't you mix up that location a little more, or does that mean that he's missing inside?
I think you throw inside to set up the outside, but I think what Posada's thinking is right now, he needs 1 out to get out of the inning. Don't take a chance on making a mistake inside. Let's keep going with the strength. Down and away, try to get that ground ball and get out of it. Mendoza, because of his arm angle, about 3/4, and that sinking action moving down and away to a left-hand hitter, it's much more difficult for him to get the ball inside. That would be a dangerous area.
Because if he misses, it's over the middle
if it comes over the inside third, and then Morris could hit it with some authority. Toward Brocious, playing him perfectly. Throw to Martinez in time, and Ramiro Mendoza has pitched 5 innings of 3-hit baseball. Kenny Singleton joins Susan Waldman in the 6th. 3-1 Yankees. Back on MSG after this.
Want to get into baseball? Then get Baseball Weekly. You'll get the best and most complete Major League coverage, expert advice for fantasy players, an insider's view of big league baseball, minor league reports on top Major League prospects, and much more. Subscribe now so you won't miss a pitch and get the 1998 Baseball Weekly Almanac free. You'll get complete stats from 97, team-by-team reviews, and 98 previews, a $14.95 value. So call now and you'll get 52 action-packed issues of Baseball Weekly for just 77 cents an issue, plus the 1998 Almanac free with your paid order. So if you want the game, the whole game, and nothing but the game, get Baseball Weekly.
Wake up, Dad. Come on, Daddy.
Saturday mornings are hard. Errands are easy. With the Chase banking card, the ATM card you buy things with. It deducts money automatically from your checking account, so you don't have to stop at the ATM.
Let's go.
Or write checks. Because even on Saturday morning, there are places you have to be. The Chase banking card, free when you open a Chase Better Banking account.
New York Yankees baseball is brought to you in part by American Express. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, American Express helps you do more. What a beautiful day here in Kansas City. See the fountains out there beyond the fences in left and right field, and Ken Singleton back in the action with Susan Wallman. And Susan, the Yankees are slowly but surely pulling away.
Getting to Tim Belcher.
Using the long ball against Belcher, the veteran right-hander who's held the Yankees to 3 runs on 7 hits thus far, but 2 of them left the premises.
And one of them a big home run for Paul O'Neill, though he doesn't like to say he's a home run hitter, which he isn't. I think everybody wants that, right, Ken?
Everybody likes those milestones. It shows that you've made some accomplishments in this game. Here's a man who's done that. Darryl Strawberry had a big home run last night, over 2 today, and takes a pitch inside for ball 1.
You should have heard Mike Stanton in the clubhouse imitating Darryl, who was sitting on the couch watching television, watching the game when Zimmer went and got him. And what happened? Before, no swings. Just thought, okay, I'll go hit.
Yeah, sitting there for about 3.5 hours,
right.
And then first swing of the night, a huge home run.
Zimmer comes in and says, if Brocious gets on, you're up.
Inside, and Belcher falls behind, 3 balls and no strikes. There's a look at Mike Stanton.
Stanton, one of the people who keeps everybody loose. He goes out to the bullpen around what, 7th inning or so, or maybe he's getting the day off. Yeah, he'll probably wander out there.
3-0 pitch is down low, and Darryl draws a leadoff walk here in the 6th inning. That is only the 2nd walk allowed by Tim Belcher. Here's our New York Marriott Marquee matchup. Ramiro Mendoza, 5 innings. Same for Tim Belcher. 3 hits for Mendoza, 7 for Belcher. 2 strikeouts, 3 walks. Mendoza's control has been somewhat in and out. Belcher has 3 strikeouts, and that was his 2nd walk. Tim Raines is 0 for 2. All of a sudden, 5 straight balls out of the strike zone thrown by Tim Belcher as Raines is up with a man aboard.
Also, you can see what Belcher is doing. 2nd, 3rd time around the lineup. They're not being fooled.
They've had a chance to zero in on it. Another pitch out of the strike zone, and it's 2 balls and no strikes on Raines, and Belcher has not thrown a strike here in the 6th inning. And he's getting down to the bottom part of the order, which has been very productive for the Yankees today. Posada with a home run and Brocious with a couple of doubles. I think that's one thing about the Yankees offensively this year, that the production has come throughout the order.
Well, they can beat you at any position, and they can beat you anyway. You want to play 2-1, they'll play 2-1. You want to play 12-10, they'll play 12-10. We were talking before, Tim Raines has a little twinge in the hamstring. Okay, I'll DH today. Darryl, you play left.
Darryl's off and running. The pitch is hit. Gloved by Offerman on a nice stab. The throw to first is in time.
And of course, Darryl running with that pitch saved a double play. Darryl said that as the weather gets warmer, Kenny, you're going to see him running even more.
Well, he has 4 stolen bases in 5 attempts. Here's a look at that Raines at bat.
Darryl's moving with the pitch, and Raines gets it over. Nice pickup by the 2nd baseman over to Jeff King. But if Darryl's not moving on that pitch, you got a double play there probably.
Ball was hit hard enough to turn 2. Here's Jorge Posada. Speaking of hit hard enough with Darryl at 2nd. Posada with his 4th home run of the year back in the 4th inning. Pitches in for a call strike. The wind does not have the velocity that it had in the previous 2 days here, 2 nights I should say. Flags hanging limply out in left field, but still slight breeze blowing to right. Bouncing ball towards the middle. Offerman to his right, gloves it and throws out Posada with Strawberry going over to 3rd base. 2 down now, and Scott Brocious will be the hitter. Excuse me, Susan, go ahead.
You look at the difference in Scott Brocious, Kenny, from last year when he really felt that he had to carry that team, and really because he was the only one left from those old days. All of a sudden everyone was gone and they depended on him. He was the veteran, and some guys just can't do that. You bring him over here, he's hitting .280. He's got 2 doubles today.
Up and in for a ball. Also, the fact that he got off to a slow start last year, it could never recover. Right. A lot of guys that get off to that slow start, and then they'll have that hot month of May to get themselves back on track. That will leave it a count at a ball and a strike. The Mets and the Rockies tied at Shea in the 8th inning. Florida Marlins trying to pick up a win over the San Diego Padres. The Giants trying to salvage a game in the series against the Atlanta Braves. And the Dodgers all over Pittsburgh. Houston and Philly in the National League tied at 3. Brocious fouls the ball off, and the count goes to 1-2. And the Expos. Wonder how many people they have there today. 4-1. They lead the Arizona Diamondbacks. Cincinnati 4-1 over Milwaukee in the second.
I can't get used to that. I can't get used to Milwaukee with the National League team. Cincinnati, what are they doing there?
They're doing very well.
Yeah, I know they are. Yes, they are.
Brocious swings, lets the fly ball down the right field line. Going towards the corner is Sutton. This is going to twist foul and go into the seats. A souvenir. So Strawberry returns to third. And the count remains a ball and 2 strikes. And there's a happy young man. Just think, out of all the people who are here today, he's one of the few that will get a foul ball souvenir.
And he gets to be on television back in New York.
Doesn't know it either. But Brocious hanging tough. The count remains a ball and 2 strikes. He's got a runner at third. That straightens him up, and that will level the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tim Belcher, the veteran, just 2-6 lifetime against the Yankees. Here's a look at Straw inching away from the bag at third base. Got on with a leadoff walk. A couple of ground balls that moved him to third. Inside once again, and the count goes full at 3-2. Homer Bush with a rare start. He's on deck. Chuck Knobloch getting the afternoon off.
With the Yankees not playing until Tuesday, that means Knobloch actually gets almost 3 days off. His middle finger and his glove hand is a little swollen, a little sore. He's been playing with it. Elbow's a little sore.
Payoff pitch, a ground ball to short. Martinez throws on the run. It's high, and he's going to be safe at first base. Strawberry will score, and the Yankees now lead it 4-1.
And it looks like he actually slid underneath. He ducked underneath that tag tried to be put on by King, and that's one of the things that Martinez does. Now, Musser isn't going to say anything. Martinez, it makes a lot of errors and a lot of mental mistakes. He just throws this one a little high. King has to reach for it, and Brocious goes right underneath it. Martinez, remember, hasn't played baseball all that long, and you have to be patient with this guy. He's got a terrible temper, and Tony Musser's been very, very easygoing with him. And you want him to play through those mistakes because I think he's going to be good.
Well, that 2-out mistake has cost the Royals a run here in the 6th inning.
It's got to be a very fine line, though, because this, you know, they want him to be a major league shortstop. So where is that fine line? This is a guy who, you know, spikes people in the head. There's still that that thing about Otis Nixon, him hitting him in the jaw.
I don't think you've heard the last of that either. He did apologize to Otis Nixon, but I don't think the Twins, his teammates, took it very kindly.
I don't think they did either.
There's a bunt laid down by Bush to throw to first. Not in time. His speed pays. Well, Homer Bush stretching his legs as he crosses the bag. I don't know if he pulled anything or has a twinge, but he certainly got himself a beautiful bunt single, and you can see he beat the play.
And he got down there, and it looks like he was stretching the quad muscles. I guess he's all right. Well, he's not going to show us. His mom's here. His family's here. He really will beat this one out perfectly. And stretching the quad muscles a little bit.
You know, somebody who's been inactive as much as he has, when you get a chance to really turn it on, every once in a while, an inactivity will result in a hamstring pull or a quad pull.
Well, he's not going to tell anybody.
No. No. Well, 2 on, a run in. Brocious has moved down to second. And here's Derek Jeter. Grounded out 3 times this afternoon. And the first pitch is inside for ball 1.
Homer told me before the game his whole family's here. He's from East St. Louis, and he said to his mom, he said, you know, maybe I'll get to play tomorrow, day game after a night game. Why don't you stick around one more day? So Mom stayed, and there's Homer. And he is stretching those hamstring muscles.
Now just behind Willie Randolph, the third base coach, and it's a ball and a strike on Jeter. So Bush back to first base. You know, his speed was evident on that play. You don't get to see it very often, but you see why the Yankees like him. Makes some things happen. Picks up his second infield hit of the day. 2 on, 2 out. There's a call strike to the inside corner from Tim Belcher. Jeter with the 0 for 3 has seen his average drop down to 265. For the most part, it's been moving in the right direction. Up and in. Did it get him? Yes, it did. Jeter is hit by a pitch by Tim Belcher, and that will load the bases for Paul O'Neill. Well, the 2-out error has prolonged this inning, and now that's Bruce Keeson, the pitching coach, on the phone.
Tries to go up and in with this one, and of course Jeter, the way he stands over the plate, it does hit him, but he gets hit a lot.
Well, one of the keys in this league is trying to pitch Jeter inside to get him out. Here's O'Neill, who homered his last time up, his first of the season, and as you saw, the bases are full of Yankees. It's a pitch low for a ball. Tim Belcher has faced Paul O'Neill more than any other hitter. This is their 78th time facing each other.
Is that so?
Yep, more than any other hitter, Paul O'Neill has faced Tim Belcher.
And of course, they were teammates for a while too in Cincinnati, so that's interesting.
78th time. Here's pitch low. This is number 79.
No wonder they are so familiar with each other at all levels.
2 balls and no strikes. It makes me think back to those old westerns that the sheriff got to face. Yeah, face the guy.
Shootout at OK Corral.
Only faced him once. Here's the 2-0 pitch, and this is outside ball 3. So Belcher's fall behind 3 balls and no strikes with the bases loaded. Brocious at third, Bush at second, and Jeter around at first. With the count 3 balls and no strikes, and you think about a hitter hitting away in a bases loaded situation, I would think that O'Neill would take 1 here. That way you can make sure he wouldn't chase a bad pitch, being over anxious on the 3-0 count. There's ball 4. He's drawn a walk, almost was hit, and that's going to force in another run. And it's now 5-1 Yankees.
And of course, Tim Belcher threw 5-6 straight balls to start off this inning.
And here comes Bruce Keeson, the pitching coach. Now there is somebody up in the bullpen, but he hasn't had enough time to really get ready.
That would be Jose Rosado.
That's the 3rd walk of the afternoon for Belcher. Rosado came in the other night and walked O'Neill and Tino Martinez in a clutch situation. So trying to stretch some time for the bullpen to get ready. Belcher, who got the a walk, then a couple of ground outs, then an error, a base hit, a hit batter, and another base on balls. And the Yankees have come up with 2 runs here in the 6th inning and now lead by 4. Well, the meeting is adjourned out on the mound, and not any easier for Tim Belcher. Here's Tino Martinez, who was singled twice and in between struck out. The bases are full of Yankees for Tino. And there's ball 1. A splitter down low.
And Tino, you just sit there with the bat on your shoulder until he proves he can throw a strike?
No, I think you're looking for the knockout punch. If he gets something right there in the middle of the plate, let it go. Looked like a splitter. It's a splitter. Comes right back with a split finger pitch, and it's 1-1. Tino's looking for a fastball. Or as John Mayberry, the ex-Royal and ex-Yankee, used to say, just looking for a cheeseburger. I can take a bite out of it. Swung on and fouled off. This will reach the seats down the left field side, and Tino's down on the count, of ball and 2 strikes. Yankees going for a sweep of this series before they move on to Texas and start a 2-game series on Tuesday night. 2-2. And an error by the shortstop seemed to take a lot out of Belcher. Seemed like since that has happened, this inning has gone downhill.
Well, now you're getting to the middle of the order. Now, if you're Belcher, you got to set up that fastball.
And just missed, and the runners will be going with a full count and 2 outs. So we will have an action pitch, and let's see if Belcher goes to the stretcher. He's been working from the windup. Now he's going to stay in the windup, and I think that's a good move, because if you change the way you're going to deliver the ball, you might not have the rhythm. The runners go. The payoff pitch is high, ball 4. Another run has been forced home, and it's now 6-1 Yankees. Back-to-back bases loaded walks by Tim Belcher. And now he's walked 4 men in the ball game. Rosado continues to warm up.
And that's something you don't hear a lot in Kansas City, booing from the stands.
And now Bernie Williams will have a chance with the bases loaded. And the Yankees have batted around here in the 6th inning. That 3-2 pitch was nowhere near the strike zone. There's a called strike. Well, the error prolonged the inning, and the Yankees have made the most of it.
See, if Belcher's not getting his fastball over, Kenny, then he's in terrible trouble, because everything works off of that.
A ball and a strike to Bernie Williams. Bernie has walked, flied out, and grounded into a double play. Chris Chambliss, the hitting coach, looks on. He hasn't seen much hitting this inning. The Yankees only have 1 hit, but they've scored 3 times. Splitter swung on and missed. The ball and 2 strikes.
Now, what do you see from Bernie as a hitter? Do you see him being over anxious?
I see that. First of all, I don't think he's in a complete slump, because he has been getting his walks and getting on base and scoring. But as far as the power is concerned, as we look at his career averages with the bases loaded, 4 grand slams, I think that the league has done a pretty good job of pitching to Bernie, and when he starts to make the adjustments, then it'll be his turn for a while. They throw him slow stuff down, splitters down, and fastballs up. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jeter at third, Paul O'Neill over at second, and Martinez at first. Just off the end of the bat, Bernie stays alive. 2-2. Yankees trying to pick up their 20th win of the season. 20 out of the first 26. Is that amazing?
We were talking about on Tuesday. Doesn't 1 and 4 seem like a many years
Whoa, doesn't it? It's a completely different team. The Yankees currently have won 4 straight, trying to make it 5. And this will be fouled off by Bernie Williams, and the count will remain 2-2.
So if the pitchers have adjusted to Bernie, how difficult is it to go to that next level? I mean, you adjusted your whole career.
Well, what you have to do is kind of look for those pitches, and then all of a sudden hit a few. So then it starts to get around the league, and the advanced scouts that are on hand, and they'll get the reports out that, yeah, he's starting to hit that pitch. You better stay away from it.
Now, do you change what you're doing?
You might have to make some adjustments. Bernie checks his swing, but goes around too far and is struck out with the bases loaded. So Tim Belcher faces 9 men here in the 6th inning, and 3 of them scored. And it all started with a 2-out error, a throwing error by Felix Martinez. That set the Yankees in motion, and they lead it 6-1.
What's Ansky?
What?
What the hell is Ansky? Slide didn't do good at all. Slide back.
Hey, what is that? There you go.
Nice, right?
Yanks.
Yanks.
Yanks! Oh. Let's go! All right!
The ultimate Derek Jeter dream date. First you call a girl. Tell her that you're preparing a perfect candlelight dinner for her. I throw in some R&B. I can't cook, so I'll order some food. Tell them to give me the works and put it on my Discover card. Splash on a little cologne. throw on your apron. And the Discover Card cashback bonus is the icing on the cake. What else would she want to do but to watch highlights of us winning the World Series in 1996?
It pays to discover. To apply, call 1-800-IT-PAYS-TO. Accepted where you see the Novus sign.
No, I don't need vinyl siding. This is an apartment. I can't get away from these salesmen.
I'm Jim.
Hi, Jim. This is for you. Hello. Make sure you deal with a pro, like your GMC dealer. It's closer than you think. Here, let's take a look.
Now, in addition to Jimmy's strength, comfort, and versatility, you get low 1.9 APR GMAC financing, 1.9%. Think how much you could save in finance charges. See your Tri-State GMC dealer.
Oh, no, look at it.
Well, there's a good look at the scoreboard here at Kauffman Stadium, and that's what it says. The Yankees lead it by a score of 6-1. We're going to the bottom of the 6th inning. Ken Singleton along with Susan Kaufman here at the Kaufman. Susan Kaufman, yeah. At Kauffman Stadium. Here's a look at our Delta Airlines upcoming schedule. Tuesday, right here on MSG at 8 o'clock, the Yankees take on the Texas Rangers. Same on Wednesday, and then they move on to Minnesota Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. There's Ramiro, Mendoza, Susan.
I tried to get them.
You know what?
I
know a Susan Kaufman. That's the problem.
So, is she their daughter? She in
no.
To the Kaufman fortune.
She's from the East Coast.
Oh, okay.
Jeff King with a strike one call. Ground ball to Scott Brosius at third. Here's the accurate throw to first, and King is a leadoff out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. We're talking about the Yankees and the way that they have very patient hitters. The Yankees and the Royals are at the opposite end of the spectrum as far as taking base on balls and keeping innings going.
That's also why the Yankees play 4-hour games.
Yeah, that's true. But you see, they've won 19.
That's right. It's okay if you play 4-hour games if they win.
Here's Terry Pendleton. Call strike. And the Yankees average a walk about once every 8.5 appearances to the plate. So that's one every 2 innings. Yeah. Pitches outside for a ball.
This is a very strange conglomeration of people on this Kansas City team, isn't it? You've got some veterans that are sort of near the end of their career. You've got youngsters that you're really not sure about. They don't seem to go in one direction or another.
Yeah, I guess the way you really think about building a ball club, you're going to have your veterans, but you're going to have your middle players. Guys who are in the middle of their careers to take over the veteran roles. Then you have the rookie players that break in. Ground ball is foul, and it's a ball and 2 strikes on Pendleton. And that, if everything works out right, it kind of replenishes itself and it moves on in perpetuity. But sometimes it doesn't happen with free agency, and players who get to the middle part of their career can leave your ball club and organization. Just missed 2-2.
And of course, some unfortunate trades don't help either.
No, that's true. The Royals have finished last the last 2 seasons in the American League Central. In their first 27 years, they never finished last. Pitch is fouled off. So you can see there is some rebuilding to do here. There's general manager Herc Robinson. He and along with field manager Tony Muser, they have to break in these young guys like Martinez.
Well, they're in a terrible position because there's no money. They're not spending any money. The ball club's about to be sold. They don't know to whom it's going to be sold. You've talked to some of the coaches and some of the front office people. They're all afraid of losing their jobs. How can you perform like that?
In that environment.
Yeah, how can you build?
Payoff pitch is fouled off by Pendleton. Well, they're supposedly around All-Star break. They're going to find out who the team's going to be sold to, and then
they'll clean house and start again.
There's one train of thought that there might be a big-time infusion of money, and then all of a sudden this team will be more productive. Pitch is outside, and Pendleton has drawn a walk with 1 out. That's the 4th walk allowed by Ramiro Mendoza.
You look up in the scoreboard, Kenny, and the Royals have 1 run on 3 hits, and it looks like Mendoza is struggling more than what the box score will say.
Well, he's only had 1 1-2-3 inning. That was in the 3rd.
He's throwing a lot of pitches.
And here's Dean Palmer. He's grounded out and doubled. And his double would have been a home run if it wasn't for the wind. That ball was hit pretty well to left center. Looks like Mel Stoudemire just hung up the phone, and there is some movement
back there. Maybe he didn't like him throwing that ball around the letters to Dean Palmer.
I think the walk had something to do with it too. There's a pitch down low, 2 balls and no strikes, falls behind another hitter. And now to stall for a little bit of time, Mel Stottlemyre out to the mound, and just to give Mendoza a bit of a breather and also give Mike Buddy a chance to warm up.
Joe Torre, I was talking to Joe Torre about Mike Buddy, asked him why he likes him. He said he throws strikes. He said he's going to take his knocks, but he's going to be a good pitcher one of these days. Always around the plate, doesn't throw hard.
I think one of the things that for breaking in young pitchers that the organizations try to do once they get to the big leagues, if they can break them in long relief. One thing that these pitchers who come in are new guys, they don't know when they're going to pitch, and that might be a good thing.
Right.
Yeah, because they don't get a chance to think about it as starters, and they know they aren't going to be in the real clutch situations later on in the ball game. Their job is maybe to get 1 or 2 guys out, maybe 1 inning full, and then move on to a more experienced pitcher. Here's Ramiro Mendoza trying to work on Dean Palmer, and he misses. 3 balls and no strikes. Now, while he has walked 4 men in the game, he did walk 2 last inning. In fact, he has 5 walks in the game. So he walked 2 last inning. Now it's 3 balls and a strike. Pitch is hit hard but foul off the bat of Palmer.
You know, you saw that little graphic there, only 4 double play grounders this year. Mendoza, when he's on, will induce an awful lot of grounders. So that he only has 4, Kenny, is he has struggled this season.
Well, it's obvious when the pitches are up that he's going to have trouble. That's what happened in his last start too. Pitch is rolled slowly. The short's going to be tough to turn 2. Jeter to Bush for 1. That's all they're going to get. So Jeter with the shovel pass to Bush erases Terry Pendleton, the veteran. And Dean Palmer will be safe at first on the fielder's choice. 2 outs now. Palmer not very happy with that swing. And it'll bring up Larry Sutton. Sutton's had some good years in the minor leagues. He has started every game in which the Royals have faced a right-handed starting pitcher. Here's a ground ball rolled to Bush. And that's going to retire the Royals here in the 6th inning. So Homer Bush with the last out. No runs for the Royals here in the 6th. Susan Waldman. Thank you very much. We'll be back for the 7th inning with the Yankees, who lead by 5.
The City Hawks have landed. Catch all the non-stop action as they battle it out in a Cross River showdown against the Jersey Red Dogs. Monday night on MSG.
No beauty tips. No rock stars. No couch chit-chat.
We'll be right back.
CNN has what you're looking for, because CNN has more news in the morning with frequent weather updates, more sports and business reports. So get off the couch and switch to Early Edition, weekday mornings on CNN.
It's why more informed people are watching on Time Warner Communications.
Hello, I'm Senator Mike Nazolio. This month is Fire Safety Month, and it's crucial that every month your homes and properties be protected by functional smoke detectors. That's why I'd like to encourage you to use smoke detectors with 10-year batteries to provide the best protection for your families. Working smoke detectors save lives and property. Check your smoke detectors today and remember to use long-life 10-year batteries. For more information on long-life batteries, please contact the number shown on your screen.
Mowers. Get the quality you expect for a price you wouldn't. Check out Snapper's new 5-horsepower push mower for under $300. Or be kind to your lawn and yourself with our self-propelled 6-horsepower mower for under $400. These durable mowers have powerful engines and broad 21-inch mowing deck. So hurry to your local Snapper dealer now to get the best for less.
Snapper. Anything less just won't cut it.
Call 1-800-SNAPPER for the dealer nearest you.
Fans, New York Yankee baseball is brought to you in part by Hoover. Nobody gets the dirt like Hoover. Nobody. Well, we welcome back Jim Cott to the booth, and Jim, this little conversation.
Little on-the-job training. I think Mel's just talking a bit about. You can see the arm action there about the ball going down and away. Some words of encouragement as well as instruction, and Mendoza done a good job.
Well, his control has been a little bit off, but he's been able to get out of it. It's difficult to get that pitches in the air that he throws those good sinkers. Jose Rosado comes in out of the bullpen, and there's a sign. MSG, welcome to Ken and Jim, Susan. Yeah.
Hey. They're everywhere, those Yankee fans.
Thank you very much. And here is Chad Curtis going to face Jose Rosado. Curtis will take over for Darryl Strawberry. Strawberry drew a walk and scored a run last inning. So Curtis will, in all likelihood, take over in left field. Rosado came on the other night and didn't get the job done, facing a couple lefties in the opening game of the series. The season numbers on Chad Curtis, very good.
Excuse me, Kenny, hard to believe Rosado was their only all-star representative last year. He's a winning pitcher in the all-star game. Did not pitch well this spring, and the Royals said, we're not just going to hand him a starting job, we're going to make him earn it. So they're working him out of the bullpen. He's just not the same pitcher. Last year, I recall a couple games he pitched in New York where he really gave you the feeling that he had some confidence in where he was throwing the ball. Now he's throwing and hoping.
Well, he's hoping here, but he walks Chad Curtis to lead off the 7th inning.
You mentioned control, and I think what we're seeing today, and it doesn't have anything to do with Don Dinkinger's ability as an umpire, but you see the difference between an umpire like Brian O'Nora, who Friday night the borderline pitches were strikes. I think Tim Belcher got very frustrated. He made some very close pitches, and finally you just say, hey, just sit behind the middle of the plate. Where can I throw it? Yep. I mean, what's Mendoza walk for? There's a lot of base on balls, and most of them have been on very, very close pitches that could have gone either way.
And his thinking is, when I have to lay it down the middle, let him hit it. There's a pitch up high to Raines for a ball. Raines is DHing this afternoon. He's 0 for 3. Got robbed back in the first inning. A very good play by center fielder Johnny Damon with the bases loaded. Saved a couple of runs for the Royals. Nice diving catch, and since then Raines hasn't been able to get the ball out of the infield. 2 balls and no strikes, and Rosado, much in the same way as he did on Friday night, not throwing strikes. There's our Yankees Toyota box score. How about Homer Bush? Gets a chance to start, gets a couple of infield hits, including a bunt single.
How about that 3-inning rally? The only hit was Homer Bush's bunt single. Walks and errors. Hot-hitting Texas Rangers found out what it was like to face Pedro Martinez today. The Red Sox win that one 2-1.
There's a look at Homer on the bench. Well, things are quiet here in Kansas City. Pitch is driven by Raines, but it's going to twist foul. Nice catch by the fan. That young man down the line with a Yankee hat on. Pays to bring that leather to the ballpark.
And a lot of young fans in attendance today. 22,609 watching the game, but one of the attractions, of course, is the San Diego Chicken, the famous chicken, performing between innings.
Quick throw to first. Jeff King had to scramble. It came off the bag to receive the throw. And you were talking about Tim Belcher. He threw 114 pitches, only 66 strikes.
Yeah.
Raines with a shot towards right center. Again, Damon on the run. He won't be able to get this one. It drops in for a hit. Chad Curtis, recognizing right away that Damon wasn't going to be able to catch it, moves all the way to third. So Raines with his first hit. The Yankees have runners on the corners and nobody out.
But Beltai outside part of the plate. Raines knows immediately that he's not going to get an extra base hit on that, so Tim kind of trots into first base. I think, Kenny, we're seeing this franchise in Kansas City at an all-time low. They've had 3 losing seasons for the first time in their history. These fans are much more accustomed to seeing a more competitive ball game and a ball club. That's why things are so quiet here. They feel hopeless against a team like the Yankees.
Here's Posada, and he takes a pitch down low. Posada on the other side of the plate now. Homered batting left-handed in the 4th inning, his 4th home run of the year. So years ago, you came in here, you knew you had to scramble to win maybe 1 out of the 3. Some very good teams. Posada with a ground ball foul just in front of Willie Randolph.
Those were great rivalries, I'm sure, when you were with the Orioles, but also the Yankees and the Royals when, in the days of Dennis Leonard and Amos Otis, Frank White, George Brett. Of course, this was for years such a winning franchise.
And you see what Chris Chambliss is doing now with the youngster Homer Bush, and there's more teaching at the big league level than there ever has been. Players spend less time in the minor leagues. Pitchers, hitters, everybody. They come up more quickly. Range is back. Needs only 2 more stolen bases for 800. It's a nice round number, isn't it? 800 stolen bases.
Right there behind Ricky Henderson, Ty Cobb, and Lou Brock.
Pitch is grounded to the left side and through for a base hit for Posada. That'll score another Yankee run, and they're starting to stretch it out here in Kansas City. It is now 7-1 Yankees. Posada's second hit, his second RBI of the game, is Chad Curtis now in the dugout.
Felix Martinez playing very shallow and close to the bag for the double play. As a result, that ground ball becomes a base hit for Posada.
Yankees now with 10 hits in the game. There's still nobody out here in the 7th inning. Runners at 2nd and 3rd. Scott Brosius fouls a pitch back. He's 2 for 3 on the afternoon. Well, the Yankees can pile up 10 hits faster than anybody in the league. They just.
It's because that bottom third can get so many hits, more so than most lineups.
Bottom 3 hitters today have 5 hits in the ball game, 2 doubles and a home run.
And again, amazing in baseball with all the hits and runs we talk about. It usually goes back to a few key plays in the field. Johnny Damon made that great catch to get Belcher out of trouble, but then it was the very lackadaisical play by Felix Martinez that enabled the Yankees to stretch this out. Quite a difference, and maybe we'll get a chance to show some of the potential young infielders watching today the right way to play a ground ball with your footwork like Derek Jeter does, and then Martinez got burned by just being kind of sloppy with his footwork on that ground ball that Brosius hit.
2 on, nobody out. Yankees trying to win their 5th game in a row. Pitch is looped towards center field. Going back as a shortstop. It's going to fall in for a base hit. Tim Raines will round third, and he will score. 8-1 Yankees. Scott Brosius with his 3rd hit of the afternoon, and Rosado has yet to retire a hitter here in the 7th inning. Tony Muser talked about the quality of his bullpen when we first got in here, and we've seen that the bullpen has struggled.
Especially Rosado, you see that ball up and in. Not a bad pitch. It's just an indication of the way things are going for the Yankees. And you notice now when the Yankees get to the bench, nobody's on the top step, you know, rubbing it into the Royals. Everybody's sitting back kind of quietly saying, hey, we're going to enjoy this run while we can, because there will be a time when things aren't going quite this well.
Homer Bush looking for his 3rd hit of the afternoon, and go back to Joe Torre again. He takes Chuck Knobloch out of the lineup, a chance to give him a couple of days, almost 3 days rest. He inserts Homer Bush, who hardly has played all year long. He's got 2 hits, a stolen base, and scored 2 runs.
He's got 98 feet worth of singles today, right?
Pitch is hit to the right side. Hoffman has it, bobbles, but throws on to first, and there's an out. But the runners will advance. Posada the 3rd, and Brosius down to 2nd.
The shortstop, Derek Jeter.
And that'll bring up Derek Jeter. Jeter prolonged that last inning by being nicked by a pitch. And that was followed by 2 walks by Tim Belcher. That produced a couple of runs. The Royals are going to bring the infield in. I guess they feel they can't afford to give up many more runs in this game.
It's one of those things as a manager you can't give up and just say, well, we'll play back and give them another run. You have to bring them in there and try to cut the run down.
Pitch is inside, ball 1.
Follow Derek's at bat here. The other improvement that he's made, there's not quite as much of a hitch in his swing. When he strides more toward the pitcher and not dives into the ball, those hands stay above the ball much longer.
Had a good pass at that one and fouled it back. 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, Matt Wisnett is the left-hander and Brian Betwell is the right-hander. Double-barreled action for the Royals in their bullpen.
Remember last year we seemed to see so many swings where Derek would get caught with his hands down around that rib area and just get jammed, and this year he's able to drive down through the ball much better.
This is going to reach the seats. 2-1.
Good matchups looking ahead to the Texas series. David Cone will pitch Tuesday night at the ballpark at Arlington against John Burkett, who's done quite well against the Yankees. A little off-speed slider type pitcher. Those are the types of pitchers. We'll have it for you here on MSG starting at 8 o'clock. Those are the types of pitchers that can give a lineup like this a little more trouble.
Ground ball towards the middle. That's going to be a base hit. The Yankees are going to tack on 2 more runs as Derek Jeter comes through with an RBI single, and it is now 10-1 Yankees. That's the danger of bringing the infield in. That slow roller, well placed, could do a lot of damage. Posada and Brochia score.
Yeah, that's what the chicken says. Blame El Nino. There is nothing as deflating or demoralizing. You see Jeter go out and get that off-speed pitch and just dribble it through the infield. Nothing more demoralizing to be competitive in a ball game for halfway and then see the other team just blow it out. The Royals only have 3 chances to come back.
Ground ball to short. Martinez is going to take this himself. He fires to first base to complete the double play. And that will get the Royals out of this inning, but not before the Yankees tack on 4 more runs. We're going to the bottom of the 7th inning. Ramiro Mendoza with a big lead.
Want to get into baseball? Then get Baseball Weekly. You'll get the best and most complete Major League coverage, expert advice for fantasy players, an insider's view of big league baseball, minor league reports on top Major League prospects, and much more. Subscribe now so you won't miss a pitch and get the 1998 Baseball Weekly Almanac free. You'll get complete stats from 97, team-by-team reviews, and 98 previews, a $14.95 value. So call now and you'll get 52 action-packed issues of Baseball Weekly for just 77 cents an issue, plus the 1998 Almanac free with your paid order. So if you want the game, the whole game, and nothing but the game, get Baseball Weekly.
A deferred annuity, fixed or variable.
Your shares may be worth more or less than their original cost.
A mutual fund that delivers superior risk-adjusted returns.
You're close to a golden retirement through strategic asset.
Gee, retirement planning is so complicated.
It doesn't have to be. MetLife has lots of products like mutual funds, annuities, and 401k plans. And the Met rep can help you make sense of it all.
Cool.
Get Met. It pays.
The NBA playoffs are on MSG. This week, the Knicks-Pacers rivalry resumes when Allen Houston and New York tip off against Reggie and the Pacers. New York invades Indy for Game 1. This week on MSG, your home for Knicks playoffs.
10-1 Yankees lead. They fight fans on Saturday, June the 6th. The heavyweight championship of the world returns to Madison Square Garden. The real deal Evander Holyfield is set to defend his heavyweight title against 6'7" giant Henry Akinwande. That's at the Mecca. Holyfield joins Ali, Frazier, Lewis, Dempsey, and Holmes as the only heavyweight champs to defend their title at the Garden. Tickets for the June 6th Heavyweight Championship of the World, Holyfield against Akinwande, are now on sale at the Garden box office and all Ticketmaster locations. New first baseman for the Yankees, Dale Swaim, will take over for Tino Martinez. Chris Turner is the hitter, and he has taken a strike, and he takes another 0-2. So Ramiro Mendoza, who lost in his last start to the Blue Jays, will now working with a 9-run lead here to bottom of the 7th inning. There's a look at Paul O'Neill out and right. He's had a good afternoon with a home run. Here's Chad Curtis in left. He's taken over for Strawberry.
Yeah, everybody gets a little playing time. And you feel bad for Chili Davis. He's only had 4 at-bats this year, but if there was ever a situation where the Yankees actually added by subtraction, they became a little, I don't know if I'd use the word better, but it was more of a compatible group because of the injury to Chili. Because now Joe Torre can use Strawberry as a DH, which is where he'd like to use him most of the time, and Curtis and Raines also get a little more playing time, so they kind of added by subtraction. And you know the way things go in this ball game that when Chili does get healthy, he'll be needed because something else may happen. Either one of the 3 may not be playing well, or an injury could come along. But again, that's the depth of being one of the rich and powerful.
Pitches outside, and we've seen all 3 of those players contribute mightily to the Yankees' great start. Raines the other night with a home run that tied a ball game against Seattle in the 9th inning. Strawberry with the massive home runs in his last few games. And this ball is popped up in the home plate area. Coming back is Posada, but he doesn't have room. Ball's in the front row. And Chad Curtis, defensively, he's been a wonder, as he usually is, and offensively, he's having a great year.
And they all come to the ballpark almost like being a member of the bullpen. They know that sometime during the ball game they're probably going to get in.
2 balls and 2 strikes on Chris Turner. He's leading off the 7th inning for the Royals. Ground ball towards third, and Scott Brosius right on the money, and there's 1 down.
The shortstop.
Now it's time for our Aflac trivia quiz, and wow, 2 former teammates of Jim Cott and Ken Singleton went on to become major league managers. Name them. Well, I know one for sure, and I think I know the other.
I got to think about that one. The number 2.
Felix Martinez fouls the ball up. And you know what? I know a guy, and I know he played with me, but I'm not so sure he played with you. That's the problem.
We'll find out when we see the answer.
Yeah, we will.
Give us a half inning to think about it.
No, it's not Ty Cobb. 0-1 pitch. Outside. Bill Webb. Our director.
Just because he was directing back there.
Oh, yeah.
We were playing that.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. Call strike to Martinez.
Let's watch this at bat of Martinez. I mentioned the veteran Terry Pendleton was around the cage yesterday trying to get Martinez to hit the ball on the ground, to try to hit more ground balls and not lazy pop-ups like that.
Smacks one toward the middle, but Jeter near second base throws and gets him. I don't think Jeter got that cleanly out of his glove, but he made up the time with the crisp throw to first base.
It gives you a little insight into the speed of Martinez. There's Derek, had it in the web and didn't get control of it, so he had to throw it on the run. Just got him by a half a stride. It was just Derek's strong arm recovering from that bobble that enabled him to throw him out.
He is a pleasure to watch day in and day out. And I don't know about Yankee fans feeling grateful he's playing shortstop for them, but you go around the league and there's not many guys who are as steady defensively. Johnny Damon. Line drive to center. Is it going to hang up? And it does. Bernie Williams. What a dive and catch. The Yankees can do no wrong here in Kansas City. They're going for the sweep. At the end of 7, they lead 10-1.
Paying your dues is hard. Paying your bills is easy. With Chase Online Banking, the quicker, easier way to make payments and transfer money, leaving you a little more time for paying your dues. Chase Online Banking, free when you open a Chase Better Banking account.
So I'm in my Q45 taking my son and his date to the high school dance. And this kid pulls up to me at the stoplight. Now the kid is revving his engine and looking at us. And my son, who had been in the car with me before, says, "Dad, show him what this car can do." I don't know what got into me, but I dusted him.
Needs a little work. We've never really had that big of a house before. Bathtub. So there's gonna be a lot going on my Discover card. Fireplace. I love just the idea of surrounding myself with all my friends and family, and that people can just drop by. Pool table. Discover card cashback bonus award. It's like a gift that you can do whatever you want with, and not even feel guilty. Come find my house.
It pays to discover. To apply, call 1-800-IT-PAYS-TO. Accepted where you see the Novus sign.
Beautiful day here in Kansas City. New York Yankees baseball is brought to you in part by Nissan, who remind you that life is a journey. Enjoy the ride.
Did Joe Torre write that copy? I mean, exactly what we were talking about before the game. That's the new Royals pitcher, Brian Bevel. Boy, they have got some big right-handers coming out of the bullpen. Jim Pitsley at 6'7", Scott Service 6'6", Bevel is 6'4", and you see his numbers: 21 strikeouts in 14 innings. Out of Houston, Texas.
Had a couple of strikeouts on Friday night in one inning of work against the Yankees.
So Dale Swaim says, whoopee, they got a big enough lead. I can play. He's looking for his first knock. That pitch outside for a ball. I mean, here's a guy that was a very, very productive player last year with the Pirates, and he can't get any playing time in this lineup. On the edge, 1-1.
And he's looking for his first hit of the year.
Foul out of play, and it's 1-2. Mentioned the two-game series in Texas. And the matchup in game 1, David Cohn, John Burkett, then David Wells and Bobby Witt on Wednesday. The Rangers have 4 of the top 10 hitters in the American League. They got shut down today by Pedro Martinez.
No shame in that.
No, and 2 other pitchers. And this is, again, when you look at the teams that are successful, chances are they have some pretty good pitchers coming in the 7th and 8th inning. Jim Corsi today got his 6th hold. Derek Lowe's done a good job there. Tom Gordon got his 11th save for the Red Sox. And the same is true for the Rangers. John Wetland pitching very well. Swaim down on strikes.
With that move last year of Flash Gordon to the bullpen by manager Jimmy Williams and pitching coach Joe Kerrigan, it was an experiment at the time, but now it looks like an experiment gone right.
Bernie Williams will step in, 0 for 3 and a walk. Tom Goodwin having a terrific year. There's another player that got away from the Kansas City Royals that's doing well in another uniform. Mark McLemore, Budge Rodriguez leading the league. Up and into Bernie, ball 1.
Did you forget Juan Gonzalez?
No, a few Yankee pitchers like to forget him.
Well, the Yankees have been raking this series.
Yeah, the chickens at work out raking the grass in center field. 2-0.
When you think of the other teams, the way the Yankees have been going, and we were talking about this between innings, they got to look forward to the Yankees just leaving town, not seeing them for a couple of months.
All 3 pitches up there, and it's 3-0. When Susan was on during the game, we're talking about that Texas series, and she said it's going to be a big challenge for the Yankees. Well, put yourself in Johnny Oates in the Texas Rangers shoes. They're saying the same thing. Been playing pretty good baseball, but now they've got to deal with the Yankees. Not even close on 4 pitches. So that's kind of typical of Brian Bevel. A strikeout and a walk. Yankees have a 1-out base runner.
I'm looking forward to this Affleck because I thought I had the second guy right, but I didn't.
2 former teammates of ours that went on to become major league managers. Can you name them? We know one is in the ballpark today, Tony Muser. That pitch to Curtis. We thought maybe Davey Johnson or maybe Don Baylor. Neither of those names. I can't come up with who we both would have been. I'm trying to think of somebody in at the Orioles there that we would have played with. It wasn't Johnny Oates. Like Bevel might have slipped or hurt himself, or Bruce Keeson wants to talk to him about getting back on track. All right, let's come up with that second one, and it is Buddy Harrelson.
All right, okay.
Yep. Buddy and I were teammates briefly with the Phillies.
And I was with the Mets.
Broke in with the Mets.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Buddy is still involved in the Met organization in some capacity.
I saw him the other day, a picture of him in the paper handing out the Gold Glove to Ray Ordonez. Buddy had been the previous shortstop on the Mets to win a Gold Glove.
That's in for strike 2-1 to Curtis. Way outside. You had a chance to, of course, play on some great ball clubs. And I know Tom Seaver talks so much about what Buddy Harrelson meant to the Mets. I mean, I don't know that there's a position in baseball that is more important to winning a pennant. That's why it was so special that Derek Jeter, this is out of the reach of Martinez and off the glove. Curtis will have a 1-out single. Bernie Williams stopping at second. For the Yankees to win a World Series with a rookie shortstop, you played with some good ones. Belcher the best?
Belcher was the best fielding shortstop because he was so steady. Very rarely made a throwing error. In fact, I really can't remember him making a bad throw when I think about it. And then I got to play with Cal Ripken, who was more of an offensive type shortstop. Belcher was the guy who's going to hit ninth and just field his position and collect Gold Glove after Gold Glove.
Cal Ripken, a shortstop, as Earl Weaver said, a third baseman that he moved and made him a Hall of Famer as a shortstop because it was so unusual. If Cal would have been a third baseman, he would have been good, but he wouldn't have stood out like he did as a shortstop. Veteran Jeff Montgomery, Royals haven't had many chances to save games recently, so Montgomery looks like he's going to get a little work here. Hit well to left field. Morris will retreat, but he'll have room, and he puts it away 2 down. Well, I played with early on in Minnesota with some great ones. Zoilo Versailles, an MVP in '65. Then along came Leo Cardenas. Then Bucky Dent in Chicago was steady, but a real eye-opener for me was seeing how valuable a shortstop can be without knocking in runs, because he can save your runs, and that was Ozzie Smith.
Yep.
And also probably a guy who does not get enough credit for being as spectacular a shortstop as he was Larry Boa. He was as sure-handed and accurate a thrower as any shortstop I've played with. But it is, I think, the most athletic position, and you just do not find championship teams that don't have a good one. in the air down the left field line. Palmer and Morris and Martinez all give chase, and nobody gets it.
Well, we look at this play, and this kind of typifies the series for the Royals. Maybe the lack of communication. Palmer reaches for it. Martinez is backing him up. I thought the shortstop had a better angle, but not able to make the play. Maybe a longer run for him because of the fact that he's playing towards the middle with Posada at the plate. But it's certainly a better angle, and that play should have been made.
If the Royals were on a winning streak or playing good baseball, that ball's caught. But what happens when you're going through what this team is right now, the Kansas City Royals, most of the thoughts are negative. You know, what next is going to go wrong? Concentration not there. Strikeout by Brian Bevel. He fanned 2 in the inning. We're heading to the bottom of the 8th. The Yankees have blown this one open. They lead it 10-1.
You mean Hertz gave us this great weekly rate just by booking early?
Exactly. Special low rates for booking in advance.
Huh. And we still get computerized driving directions, emergency roadside assistance, and great Hertz service.
Exactly. It's Hertz.
Wow. I guess it pays to plan ahead.
Exactly.
Sweetie, you think it's too early to give you my Christmas list?
At Nobody Beats the Wiz, use your Wiz Privilege Plus card and say yes to no. No money down, no interest, no payments for 90 days on all purchases. In every department up to $3.99. TVs, camcorders, VCRs, audio, portables, and more. Or for 6 months on any purchases of brand names from $399. It's time to say
yes, yes, yes
to service, selection, and great prices at Nobody Beats the Wiz, a Cablevision company.
Where's technology going? Photonics, pharmaceuticals, biotech. They're coming to Connecticut to grow. Software companies here are growing faster than in Silicon Valley itself. Since January of '96, more than 450 high-tech firms were launched from here in Connecticut, capitalizing on some of the most highly skilled workers in the world. Call us and see how much power we can put behind your business.
Here comes Frankie on a breakaway. He shoots. He scores! Here's Frankie all alone on the fast break, and he jams it home. Ladies and gentlemen, here he is. It's Frankie. The Brat, the ultimate.
22,000 were on hand. The 10-run Yankee outburst has chased a few of them home. We remind you that Yankee baseball brought to you in part by MCS Cannon, keeping people in business. And he's back in business for the first time.
Luis Sojo out with a fractured hand, hit by a pitch in spring training by Jared Wright of the Cleveland Indians. Did a rehab stint in the minor leagues, and first time that Louis has seen action. We also have a new pitcher in the ball game.
Mike Buddy just called up when Graham Lloyd went on the disabled list. His numbers don't look that impressive, but he can say, hey, I got 2 W's. He's come into some ball games and seen the Yankees explode late. And he was the benefactor. So put El Duque on hold, put him in the deep freeze down there at Columbus, because Ramiro Mendoza, though his control you mentioned was a little shaky, but he's got more of a hitter's umpire behind the plate today, and he worked 7 innings of 3-hit baseball. First pitch to Offerman, in for a strike.
You mentioned that why Joe Torre likes Mike Buddy, because he does throw strikes.
Another strike grounded out to Sojo, and the flip toss to Swaim in time, 1 down. We're going to take a look at what one of the big plays in this game. You say, okay, it's 10-1. How could there be a big play? But on the left, watch Derek Jeter's footwork. Now, this is in the hole. It's a little different play, but watch the footwork. 1 step, 2 steps, plants the front foot, makes a strong throw. And then we're going to get a look at where Martinez went awry. Never got his footwork under him, threw it off the back foot high. King could catch it, but couldn't make the tag, and it was right after that the Yankees exploded for 3 runs and extended the lead to 6-1. Morris. Yeah, if you see, and we were talking about great shortstops that we've played with, you show me a good middle infielder and you'll see a guy that has excellent footwork. They've got to have quick feet. You can get by with it at first base and third base by just having a little lateral movement, knock the ball down. But if you're playing second or short, you better be able to move those puppies around a little quicker. 3-0 now to Morris. That's in for a strike. One for 3 in today's game, and second in the American League to Ivan Rodriguez. Foul out of play.
He's got an 8-game hitting streak going now with the base hit this afternoon. 14 for his last 33. That's how you keep your average up over 400. Might have been an early indication in his career he's going to be a good hitter. He got a hit in his first major league at bat. Not this time.
And a rare strikeout as Mike Buddy comes back from a 3-0 count. 2 down in the Royals' 8th.
There's good movement on the fastball. Watch this ball just tail for the outside corner. Boom. Morris couldn't get it. Moving too fast and in the wrong direction.
Yeah, if we're not for big league experience and in a contract, I think on a level playing field back in spring training, the Yankee coaching staff would have taken Mike Buddy over Darren Holmes to open the season. Pitched to King outside for a ball. And you mentioned something that I know for a lot of managers I've pitched for, they can tolerate a relief pitcher coming in and giving up a couple hits, but it's tough to swallow relievers coming in there, ball 1, ball 2. Changes the whole tempo of the ball game, and Mike Buddy is a good example of a guy that will throw a lot of strikes, challenge the hitter. Fouled straight back, and it's 1-2. Through all strikes to Turner to lead off, or rather to Offerman to lead off the inning, then came back from a 3-0 count. 3 more strikes, and it's 1-2 to King.
Well, it's a good afternoon for Joe Torre to get people like Soho and Swaim, Bush, Buddy into a ball game, and now Willie Banks is warming up.
Towards Soho. So Louis got a couple of chances. His first action of 1998. It's all Yankees. They're 1 inning away from sweeping the Royals and winning their 4th in a row. 10-1 as we head to the 9th.
New York Yankees baseball on MSG. The Yanks are in Texas to battle the Rangers after New York City Marriott Scorecard. Tuesday night on MSG.
A gentleman knows. A gentleman knows. A gentleman knows. A gentleman knows his place, the Red Barn.
You'll make a hole-in-one every time when you shop at Chi-Li Discount Golf. Chi-Li Discount Golf is one of the nation's top 100 golf shops right here in Rochester. At Chi-Li Discount Golf, you'll pay the best prices and choose from a wide selection of equipment and accessories. Don't land yourself in the rough. Shop at Chi-Li Discount Golf. From seniors to juniors, beginners to pros, Chi-Li Discount Golf is the place to shop golf.
The Yankees want you to join their official fan club for kids. There's 2 packages to choose from. The double play with lots of great stuff, and the Grand Slam, well, it's got even more. Yankee caps, t-shirts, ticket discounts, and there's even an official newsletter. So if you're 16 or younger, ask Mom or Dad to sign you up. Call 201-784-9600 for more information. That's 201-784-9600.
Well, but the waterfall is quiet, just like the Royals have been here in this 3-game series. They trail 10-1, and we remind you the Knicks 98-81 winners in Game 5 today. They advance in the playoffs, and a special edition on our MSG Sports Desk of highlights and post-game interviews from that game. Al Troutwig putting that show together right now as we speak, and you can see it at 7 o'clock on the MSG Sports Desk. First pitch fouled out of play by Brocious against the new Kansas City pitcher Jeff Montgomery.
He is their closer. So without any opportunities in this series to save a lead or save a ball game, he's going to pitch in a blowout.
More than a hit per inning, but usually a strikeout per inning, and that's because of the pitch he just threw to Brocious. Good slider. He has moved up on the list, now 36 years old. He is into 11th spot all time, right behind Doug Jones, who is still active on the all-time saves list. Kansas City has made some trades recently that have not been good ones. No pun intended, with Tom Goodwin now playing for the Texas Rangers. But one of the better ones this organization made was the guy on the mound. They got Jeff Montgomery from Cincinnati for caught Brocious. Like an off-speed pitch that just got away. Traded Montgomery for Van Snyder to the Cincinnati Reds, an outfielder that never played much in the big leagues.
Well, Brocious just about caught this pitch in the fold of his right arm. Watch it right near the elbow there. Looked like a running fastball moving in on him.
No damage done, and Homer Bush will step in. Slider, strike one. Homer will have a chance to get on the telephone tonight, tell his buddies about the day he's had filling in for Chuck Knobloch. Not going to get a lot of playing time, but he's taking advantage of what he does get.
You know, if you're an irregular player, don't get a chance. Those day games after those night games, got to be leery. You might get in there.
Chuck Knobloch nursing that hand injury we talked about at the top of the show on his glove hand, kind of like a bone bruise you would expect a catcher to get. But Joe Torre feels taking the day off all day tomorrow, and then the Yankees play Tuesday night. It's almost like getting 3 days off. Could be 2. Offerman to Martinez. Good hard slide by Brocious. Wow. I mean, that's good hard baseball when you're up by 9 runs in the 9th inning, and Brocious, I don't know if he caught Martinez or Martinez twisted his ankle coming down. It looked like he caught a piece of it. That might be a little vengeance for getting hit by the pitch also on Brocious's part.
Well, it's good hard baseball, number one. You're trying to break up a double play, and there's the slide, and Martinez trying to get out of the way, and he's going to stay down. He's still not up off of the turf. Trainer Nick Schwartz out there to attend to him. And there was a play earlier in the season with Otis Nixon of the Minnesota Twins sliding into Martinez, and Martinez kicked him in the jaw and broke his jaw. And one of the reasons why Brocious was able to get down on him right there at second base is because Offerman bobbled the ground ball to begin with. There you can see the good hard slide by Brocious, and Martinez just now walking around out there at second base.
Yeah, he's had no problems in Kansas City, but his history, he's had a bit of a volatile temper. And some of his antics, actions on the field, and that being one of them, an intentional kick of Otis Nixon. In fact, Nixon, I think, just had some surgery to set that fractured jaw. So Soho taking ball 1.
Originally, he tried to play with the injury with his jaw just wired shut, but he did have to go in and have some surgery. And although Martinez did apologize to him later for the incident, it still didn't look good on tape.
Oh. Well, he stays in the ball game. One down now in the Yankee 9th, and Luis Sojo's first at bat. So ball and a strike. Let me correct that winning streak. Today's win would be 5 straight for the Yankees, not 4. Tough to keep up with them. Some more scores. Good complete game effort by Darren Oliver, even though he lost it. Cleveland comes back to beat Tampa Bay. They scored 10. Baltimore shut out Minnesota, and Toronto leads Oakland by a pair. Delgado, Carlos Delgado with a home run for Toronto. Just underway in Seattle, no score. So Cleveland comes back. They've sputtered a bit in that American League Central, but Sandy Alomar hits a grand slam home run in the bottom of the ninth. Fouled out of play, still 2-2 to Soho.
And the Orioles winning today. I think that Mike Mussina came off the disabled list, and he might have had a lot to do with that shutout today.
Welcome addition to that Oriole pitching staff that had been struggling a bit, and he defeated Eric Milton, the fine young left-hander that the Yankees traded away. Short right field, Offerman out, makes the over-the-shoulder basket catch, and Bush will have to hustle back to first. 2 down now, the Yankee ninth. So today's Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 5-day rotation. We'll see Milton Friday night in Minnesota.
Nice running catch by Offerman over the shoulder, and the 3 Royals converge, but it's Offerman, the second baseman, who makes the play.
O'Neill 1 for 4 and 3 RBIs, a solo home run, a walk with the bases loaded, and a ground ball in the first inning. Eric Milton pitched 8 innings today and just 4 hits and 2 runs. So I think the Twins quite happy so far with the trade, even though they had to give up an all-star second baseman in Chuck Knobloch. Knobloch will be back in the lineup Tuesday against the Texas Rangers. Mentioned the 4 of the top 10 hitters in the American League, as well as the production of Juan Gonzalez, but Will Clark back on track this year, 10th in the American League in hitting. Breaking ball misses to O'Neill, 2-1.
The Yankees have outscored the Royals by 9 today and out-hit them by 10.
13 hits for the Yankees, just 3 for the Royals. In for a strike, and it's 2-2 to O'Neill.
You know, we get late in the ball game like this. Jeff Montgomery, really, he's getting his work in. But for Paul O'Neill at the plate, it's a big lead. You don't want to give at bats away. You know, these things come back to haunt you, and it's hard to concentrate when you're up by 9 runs and it's the top of the 9th inning.
In the air to right. Is it hit deep enough? It's carrying out that way. Sutton is at the track, and it's going to stay in the ballpark. Like he just got it on the end of the bat. Now O'Neill is staring that down and saying, I hit that ball better than I did the home run. We're heading to the bottom of the 9th. Yankees need 3 outs to complete the sweep. They lead it 10-1. Back after this.
That's my dad, Roger Bear. And that's me when I was 4. I practically grew up on skates. Yeah, I was going to be a Hall of Famer just like him. You know, thousands of fans cheering me on. Then, right about the time I got to juniors, it started to dawn on me. What I really needed from my dad was some help paying for college. Luckily, Dad had been saving all along. Now I'm working on my master's degree in physical therapy.
Call 1-800-THE-DIME.
How can Geico save you money on car insurance when you buy from us directly? We cut out the middleman. Geico. A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance. A typical car insurance agent is on the job during regular business hours. On the other hand, Geico insurance professionals are on the job 24 hours a day. Geico. A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Where's technology going? Photonics, pharmaceuticals, biotech. They're coming to Connecticut to grow. Software companies here are growing faster than in Silicon Valley itself. Since January of '96, more than 450 high-tech firms were launched from here in Connecticut, capitalizing on some of the most highly skilled workers in the world. Call us and see how much power we can put behind your business.
Yankees. We head to the bottom of the 9th inning. Day off tomorrow, and then from the ballpark at Arlington, Tuesday night, David Cone will take the mound against veteran right-hander John Burkett. It's an 8:30 East Coast start. Pregame show at 7. Then Wednesday night, the same two teams. David Wells for the Yankees against Bobby Witt. Should be a great series. The Rangers off to one of the best starts in years, and the Yankees off to their best start in over 40 years. Willie Banks with a chance to get an inning's worth of work.
Young man from Jersey City trying to knock down that ERA that got inflated early in the season. He's been pitching much better since then. Only 4 innings of work. A chance for Willie to try and close this one out. Joe Torre getting just about everybody involved in this series, and the Yankees, as you said, Kitty, just 3 outs away from a sweep of the Kansas City Royals, and they roll on.
The Yankees, the only team in Major League Baseball undefeated when they score at least 4 runs. This would put them at 16-0. First pitch to Pendleton in for a strike. And you mentioned last inning about how even in blowout games, hitters don't want to give up at bats. And put yourself in Willie Banks' shoes. He had a great spring, made the ball club, but he struggled a bit. There's a leadoff single for Pendleton. So this inning, even though the Yankees lead 10-1, is important to him. When Graham Lloyd comes back on the active list, Yankees will have to make a pitching decision. Mike Buddy has proved that he's doing a creditable job. So Willie Banks knows that. Here's the veteran Dean Palmer. Outside for a ball. Palmer's day, 1 for 3 with a double. Another fastball low. Willie Banks has one of the best changeups in baseball. When he was a starter for the Minnesota Twins, that really was his pitch. Probably the best game he pitched as a big leaguer was against the Oakland A's several years ago. Double-digit strikeouts, and a lot of them on the changeup. Counts now 2-1. But when you come out of the bullpen, you tend to just rear back and throw, and you don't blend your pitches in as much. That's probably something Willie will have to learn to do, pitching out of the bullpen. No swing, and it's 3-1.
He does have a pretty good curveball too, but as you said, you got to get ahead of the hitters and basically do that with your fastball.
Yeah, as a reliever, you become more of a thrower. Most of your good relievers. Palmer walks, and there's 2 on with nobody out. Most of your relievers are one-pitch pitchers. Rely on one specialty pitch, and they don't change speeds and mix other pitches in as well as starters do. Well, tonight at 7:30 p.m. we mentioned the special edition of the Knicks postgame show. That's at 7 o'clock, but at 10:30 p.m. we invite you to join us for the regular edition of the MSG Sports Desk. And then at midnight, if you've missed any of the day's action and all of the sports going on today, you can catch it on Fox Sports New York at midnight tonight. Ball 1 to Larry Sutton, and Willie Banks having a little difficulty getting the first out here in the 9th inning. That's in for a strike.
You know, I'm looking for, you mentioned the Texas Rangers coming up on Tuesday night. I'm looking forward to seeing those guys too, because I want to see what Ivan Rodriguez can do to the Yankees running game.
That should be fun. I mean, he made the statement the other day. He said, you know, to sit back there without any base runners and not throw is kind of boring for a catcher. And he didn't mean it from a cocky standpoint. He just said it's kind of fun to see other teams try to steal on him. That's in for a strike, and it's 2-2. And you know, if the Yankees get on base, they're going to challenge you. I mean, you can't back down from the type of game you're playing, even though you have the best throwing catcher in baseball back there. Tapped out in front of the plate. Posada will take the sure out at first. Pendleton and Palmer advance, and that's the first out of the 9th.
The catcher, Chris Turner.
Yeah, there should be, as quiet as things have been here in Kansas City, not too much to cheer for the Royals, but that should be a pretty exciting 2 nights of baseball at the ballpark at Arlington. I'm sure the Texas fans are anticipating the Yankees coming in. We should have good crowds for both those ball games.
Looking at Mr. Turner up there at the plate with that black eye. We mentioned he was hit by a pitch by Juan Guzman in Toronto. But it's the lead eye. I'm thinking he might have a little trouble seeing.
You know, in his first at bat of the game today, hit the ball well to center field, and I think that's always the telltale sign. There was a great center fielder for your former team, the Orioles, Paul Blair. His career was turned completely around when he was hit in the jaw with a fastball from Ken Tatum. Ground foul. I had a ex-teammate, Jimmy Hall, terrific left-hand hitter. Bo Belinsky hit him, and he was never the same hitter after that. Because, you know, once you get hit, that I'm sure those next couple at bats are the crucial ones to say, I'm going to hang in there and show the pitchers I won't be intimidated.
Well, I remember Reggie Jackson getting hit by Doc Ellis in Baltimore. The one year that Reggie was with the Orioles, Doc Ellis of the Yankees hit Reggie. I mean, he hit him good. By the time Reggie got to the dugout, his whole side of his face was swollen up. And of course, a few days later, Reggie came back to play, and everybody thought, how's he going to be affected? First time up, a 3-run homer. They said, oh, he's okay.
Right. That sends the message. Yankees thought they may have had a strike there. That misses. Strike zone is about a ball smaller all the way around in today's game, with Denkinger behind the plate. And that's high. The count is full. Waiting on deck is Felix Martinez. Good fastball by Banks, and Turner's down on strike. So the Yankees 1 out away from their 20th win.
Well, nothing fancy here. A challenging 3-2 fastball right down the middle, up right over the bat of Chris Turner. Remember that old song, "Don't Get Around Much Anymore"? Yeah, that's it.
So as they say in the Yankee dugout, here's the guy we've been looking for since 1 o'clock. The last out of the game, and it's Felix Martinez. First pitch high for a ball. Red Sox also won their 20th game today, even though in the standings they are a game and a half behind the Yankees. The Red Sox 20-9. The Yankees would be 20-6. In the air to short center, but Bernie Williams is standing right there. And the sweep is completed. Ramiro Mendoza gets his first win. The Yankees pound out 13 hits. Homer Bush has a nice day filling in for Chuck Knobloch, and Joe Torre just says write the names in and stay out of the way and enjoy the ride while they can. 19 of their last 21 the Yankees have won. They have done that little victory walk out there behind the diamond an awful lot in the last few weeks. Lots to talk about here from Kauffman Stadium as the Yankees score 10 runs and they win it 10-1. Back on MSG after this.
That'll keep you company.
Amoco. You expect more from a leader, and you get it.
To the box, opening goal for Giovanni.
drivers with good, bad, and ugly credit. No matter what your past credit history, call Auto Solutions toll-free at 1-888-423-AUTO. Your reward? Pre-qualification for instant automotive credit. It's fast, it's easy, and it's absolutely free. 1-888-423-AUTO to be pre-approved today. The Auto Solutions Auto Loan Phone is completely automated, so it's hassle-free and completely confidential. This is your chance to reestablish your credit without the pressure of a salesman or the hassle of paperwork. First-time buyer, divorce, repossession, slow pay, even bankruptcies. Call now. Even with less than perfect credit, you can pre-qualify for the pre-owned vehicle you've always wanted. 1-888-423-AUTO. Call Auto Solutions, the loan arrangers, for your reward. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Holyfield is a battle-tested warrior. He's beaten everyone from George Foreman to Mike Tyson. But now he's got another war on his hands against 6'7" Henry Akinwande. He's the #1 contender and wants to be champion again. Holyfield versus Akinwande, plus Joppy versus Durant, Johnny Tapia, and Christy Martin. D-Day at the Garden, Saturday, June 6th. Tickets on sale now at the Garden box office and all Ticketmaster outlets.
Welcome back to Kansas City, where the Yankees complete the sweep with a 10-1 win. Let's check it out at the Jeep Eagle game summary. 10 runs, 13 hits. Ramiro Mendoza with 7 innings of very effective pitching, allowed just 1 run. Paul O'Neill got his first home run of the season. Jorge Posada added a solo shot, his 4th. And the Yankees have won 19 of their last 21 games. Let's take a look, Kenny, at our Dodge long drive of the game. No surprise.
It's certainly a milestone home run for Paul O'Neill, as he will hit his first home run of the season. And it kind of seems strange to say that in May with Paul O'Neill, but this is also career home run number 200. So milestone home run for Paul O'Neill. Congratulations to Paul.
We'll see if he got that souvenir baseball retrieved from behind the right field wall. We're accustomed to seeing Paul O'Neill, Tino Martinez, but you remember those days when you weren't an everyday player and you got a chance to get in there once in a while and you wanted to make the most of it. Homer Bush is standing by. He certainly did.
Well, certainly Homer didn't want anything to go wrong with him at second base. The Yankees have been playing pretty well. And Homer, congratulations on a great day.
Thanks a lot, Ken.
Homer, you grew up a Cardinal fan. You told me you wore #1. You loved Ozzie Smith, so St. Louis is not too far from here, and you had some of your family members get a chance to enjoy your day today with you.
That's what I did, Jim. My mom stayed, and I got some nieces and nephews, some cousins. It was good to see them for one, and for them to get a chance to see me play was awesome.
Did you have any indication you were going to be in the lineup today, or just was it a surprise when you came to the ballpark?
You know, it was a surprise as far as me starting, but last night I kind of convinced my mom to stay because I figured that, you know, it's going to be kind of warm. I heard it's going to be about 70, 75 degrees, and the guys were going to get it going, and I told her to stick around. I might get in that bat or two tomorrow, not knowing that I would start, but I mean, it was like wonderful. When I got in there into the clubhouse, all I did was pick up the phone and call back to the hotel.
I was a little concerned there. We saw a little bit of your speed, but after you beat out that bunt, you kind of reached down for that hammy on the left side. Any ill effects from that?
No, I should be all right. It's a little sore, but I should be okay. I think with the day off tomorrow, ice it, get some treatment, I should be ready.
Here's that bunt base hit right here.
We also saw you steal a base. You didn't hesitate right away. You just took off.
Right. I had some adrenaline going. I told Jeter, I said, hey, if I get on my first at bat, just fake a bunt for me because I'm going first pitch, because, you know, they knew that it was my first day playing in a while, and they weren't thinking that I was going to be as aggressive as I was today.
I had a chance to talk with Jamie Quirk, the Royals bench coach, today before the ball game, and he had some awfully nice things to say about you as a person as well as a player. You had a chance to play for him in the Arizona Fall League.
Yes, I did. I had a lot of fun. You know, Jamie, you know, I didn't know him because he was from the Royals and I was from San Diego, and he kind of like welcomed me with open arms when I got to Arizona and made sure that I was okay, and really took care of me, and so I thought that was really awesome.
What was that experience like in the Arizona Fall League? We see many more players coming in that league into the big leagues.
Yeah, you know, it's great because, you know, for one, you don't have to leave the country. Two, you're playing most of your games are day games, and you're off the field by 5, and you can spend the rest of the time with your family or, you know, whoever, you know, at night. So, you know, you go there and you play hard for about 3.5 hours, and hey, you just go home and relax for the rest of the day.
Homer, it must be a lot of fun, even when you're not playing, to sit on the bench and watch this team just roll on game after game.
That's true. You know, I'm hoping that I can stick around because, man, this team has really done a lot of awesome things. You know, I mean, as you know, a lot of guys are not hitting for power, but the way they manufacture runs around here is incredible.
Any players that you've been hanging out with, giving you sort of advice on how to be a Major League Baseball player?
You know, pretty much everybody. You know, it depends on what situation is, especially with pitching. You know, I try to talk to the pitchers a lot and say, you know, late in the game like this, why don't you throw a little guy like this, you know? And, you know, they'll let me know if they've known this guy in the past and, you know, what kind of hitter he is. So I pretty much can relate to the position player part of it. I just want to learn how to recognize pitches and, you know, see what pitch is going to be thrown to me in certain counts.
Homer, thanks so much for your time. Congratulations on your good day. Have a good trip to Texas, and we'll see you at the ballpark at Arlington.
Thanks for having me, Jim and Ken.
We'll step aside for a few moments. The Yankees win at 10-1. Lots more to talk about here on MSG when we come back after this.
Want to get into baseball? Then get Baseball Weekly. You'll get the best and most complete Major League coverage, expert advice for fantasy players, an insider's view of big league baseball, minor league reports on top Major League prospects, and much more. Subscribe now so you won't miss a pitch and get the 1998 Baseball Weekly Almanac free. You'll get complete stats from 97, team-by-team reviews, and 98 previews, a $14.95 value. So call now and you'll get 52 action-packed issues of Baseball Weekly for just 77 cents an issue, plus the 1998 Almanac free with your paid order. So if you want the game, the whole game, and nothing but the game, get Baseball Weekly.
Well, the final score from Kansas City, the Yankees complete the sweep. They win it 10-1. Ramiro Mendoza wins his first. They beat the veteran Tim Belcher. His record falls to 1-4. Coming up next, our Jeep Eagle post-game report. Michael Kay. And then on Tuesday night, we'll be back with you starting at 8 o'clock with our New York Marriott Yankees scorecard. And, of course, the special edition of the Knicks post-game show tonight at 7 o'clock on MSG. Well, about the only entertainment the Royals fans had was from the San Diego Chicken. All smiles in the Yankee dugout. Couple of home runs. Jorge Posada got a solo shot to complete the three-game sweep. A long afternoon for Tim Belcher. For Leon Schreier, Bill Webb, Eddie Caginelli, my partner Ken Singleton, our fine crew here in Kansas City, Jim Cott, saying so long.
New York Yankees baseball has been brought to you by The Dime, the bank that's with you all the way. By the 68,000 professionals at Delta Airlines. By the Discover Card. By your Tri-State GMC dealers, comfortably in command. And by Nobody Beats the Wiz Home Entertainment Center.
No, I don't need vinyl siding. This is an apartment. I can't get away from these salesmen.
I'm Jim.
Hi, Jim. This is for you. Hello. Make sure you deal with a pro, like your GMC dealer. It's closer than you think. Here, let's take a look.
Now, in addition to Jimmy's strength, comfort, and versatility, you get low 1.9 APR GMAC financing, 1.9%. Think how much you could save in finance charges. See your Tri-State GMC dealer.
Oh, no, don't get it.
Come on, Pig. Better. Throw it home. Mom! Dinner! I'll come in a minute. If you don't come in right now.
Oh, none of the other moms are coming in.
It's KFC.
Gotta go.
Give Mom more time to play. Bring home this KFC meal with 8 pieces of original recipe chicken plus 4 Colonel strips, just $14.99.
If you clean your plate, you can go out after dinner.
Mother's Day. Isn't it time for some really good chicken?
And welcome to the Tri-State Jeep and Eagle post-game report. There's only one Jeep, and it's only at your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealer. And the Yankees win again, 10-1, and they sweep the Kansas City Royals. Ramiro Mendoza with the win, and Tim Belcher took the loss. I'll tell you what, all the Yankees do is win. 19-2 over the last 21 games, and they're the first Major League team to get to 20 wins. And they do it in different ways. On Friday, it was 2-1. Arabu outpitched Pat Rapp. Then yesterday, a slugfest 12-6. And today, really, it seemed like it was over from the very beginning. Belcher didn't have very much, and the Yankees end up winning this one 10-1. And really, what more could you ask? Now they have the day off on Monday, and then on Tuesday and Wednesday, 2 games against the Texas Rangers. And the Rangers also have been very hot. They lead the American League West, and that should be a pretty good test for the Yankees, but they will enjoy their off day. But before we even think about the off day, let's look at what happened today, and we'll look at the Discover Playback Payback. The way it started, Tony Muser had to have his say about yesterday, and that tag-up play tells Brian O'Nora exactly what he thinks. He didn't get tossed, but he did see this. Homer Bush is on first base, 1 out. Paul O'Neill hits the grounder to Jeff King. Jeff King's coming home, but what? Oh! The ball popped out of his hand, loses his grip. Homer Bush scores, and the Yankees lead 1-0. In the 4th inning, Jorge Posada, 0 for 11 before this at bat, hits one deep right down the right field line, fair or foul. It's a fair ball, and it's a 2-0 Yankee lead. In the top of the 5th, 2-1 Yankees, and Paul O'Neill finally hits his 200th career home run, his first home run of the year, his first home run since September of last year, gives the Yankees a 3-1 lead. Now on the other side, Ramiro Mendoza pitched well today. Here in the 5th inning, he strikes out Chris Turner and then does the same thing to Johnny Damon. Mendoza 7 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 earned run. Yankees broke it up, and then the 6th inning, 2 outs, man on third. Scott Brosius grounds one to short. Felix Martinez throws it away, and Darryl Strawberry scores 4-1. In the 7th inning, it's 7-1 Yanks. Scott Brosius gets his 3rd hit of the game. A bloop single to center, and that scores Tim Raines, and it gives the Yankees an 8-1 lead. Then the last out of the game, well, Willie Banks was on the mound, and it was a fly ball of Bernie Williams. And Bernie Williams hauls it in nicely, and the Yankees get themselves a 10-1 victory. We're going to be back with Susan Waldman, who's working the Yankee clubhouse right now. She'll be back with the clubhouse report. So really, why would you go anywhere else? Yankees 10, Royals 1.
You are watching the Jeep and Eagle post-game report, brought to you by your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealer. There's only one Jeep, and it's only at your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealer.
The most award-winning brand of 4x4s has done it again. Presenting Jeep Grand Cherokee, just named Best Sport Utility. And now you can lease the leader with a special $319 a month leadership lease, or get 1.9% financing. Grand Cherokee, highest in owner loyalty, and now named Best Sport Utility. No wonder year after year, Grand Cherokee always winds up on top. Check out this $319 lease at your dealer.
Hi, Rick Majerus, coach of the Utah Utes. I've got a big appetite for sports, but an even bigger appetite for Fox Sports News.
Midnights on MSG.
Got a project at home? You'll be amazed at all the things you can rent. Think of the money you'll save instead of buying. Renting. It's the smart way to get things done.
For all your equipment needs, it's Duran's Rental with 3 locations: East Henrietta Road, Dewey Avenue, and Penfield Road.
Wouldn't it be nice if everything were guaranteed like cable service?
Sorry to keep you waiting. Here's $20.
I'm sorry your table wasn't ready. Your dinner will be free.
It would be nice, but only your cable company offers you these guarantees.
On-time service appointments or $20 refund. Guaranteed. And on-time installation or it's free. Guaranteed. Too bad everything isn't guaranteed like cable service.
Sorry we're late, folks. This flight will be free. That'll keep you company.
Amoco. You expect more from a leader, and you get it.
There's a
team up in the Bronx that is really out of sight. They can hit a ball from home plate all the way to Jackson Heights. Every adult, every child, all the fans are going wild. Yankee baseball, where are you?
This portable Iowa music system features a dual CD changer, double cassette deck, digital tuner, remote control, and Q sound for 3D enhancement. Call 1-800-BUY-IOWA.
The Yankees win 10-1, 19-2 now in their last 21 games. Mendoza the win, Belcher the loss. Home runs by Posada and O'Neill. Yankees get 13 hits and they sweep the Royals. And it is now time for the Marriott Marquis Clubhouse Report, Broadway's biggest hit. And Susan Waldman was in the clubhouse moments ago. And where else to start but with the manager of the Yankees, Joe Torre.
You look up at the scoreboard and you see one run on 3 hits, but it looks sort of like Mendoza threw a lot of pitches, a little struggling.
Well, you know what I think, Susan? I think he just, you know, when we tell him to work hard, I think sometimes he misunderstands and throws it hard. So I think he was just overthrowing at times. Plus, it looked like the strike zone was a little stingy today, too. But I thought he was fine. I mean, when he just let it go and let the ball sink, he was terrific. Got a lot of ground balls.
Did he get better as the game went on? His pace seemed to pick up.
Yeah, he did. He was working faster, you know, all game. But I think he got a little better because it may have taken the edge off a little bit, and he was just not trying to do too much.
So you put in Homer Bush, a couple of hits, starts it off.
Yeah, he gives you energy. You know, he's the guy you plug in, and, you know, he's going to run hard and play hard. And, you know, he gave us a lift. The big play, as it turned out, was the bunt with 2 out.
Good to see Paul get that first homer.
Yeah, and I thought he had a second one, too. There must be something going on up in the air today because that ball he crushed, but it just didn't go anywhere. And, yeah, I was happy to see him get off the hook. Now we need, you know, Bernie to do it.
Does this kind of amaze you that this team, no matter who you put in there, just seemed to contribute?
Well, it doesn't surprise me. You know, it amazes me how many games we can win in a streak. Even though we go out there every day, we like to think we're starting today, and we've had a pretty good approach to every game.
How good a test will Texas be coming up?
Well, they're good, and you know, aside from the playoffs down there, we've you know, it's never been a favorite place of ours, but you know, if we're ever going to go in there and play, this is the time to do it.
Well, Joe Torre, obviously calm and collected. He is now the manager of a 20-win team, 20-6 right now, the best record in the major leagues. And we're joined now by Susan Waldman, who was just in the Yankee clubhouse. And Susan, you're telling me off the air that kind of playfully all over Homer Bush as he walked in after the interview here on MSG.
Oh, that was so terrific. And this is a kid who has wanted to contribute so badly, Michael. And I went to talk to him a little bit, and all of a sudden Daryl's going, yay, Homer, and Derek is kidding him. And I guess before the game, he said that everybody came up to him. They knew it was his first start. Posada and Daryl and Jeter, they really made him feel like a part of this team. And the nice thing, before the game, Michael, he told me, I convinced my mom to stay one more day. I thought maybe with a day game after a night game, he might give me the start. He knew that Chuck was a little banged up, so he said, Mom, please stay one more day. And she did. And so it's terrific to see things like that.
A good day for Homer Bush, good day for the Yankees. Also, you would say a pretty good day for Ramiro Mendoza. I think he's got to feel the hot breath of El Duque on his back, and I guess he fends him off for a while.
You know, I'm not sure that he feels that. I think he knows that he can pitch, and I'm not really sure that he cares whether he's a starter or a reliever. They all say they want to be a starter, but I'm not sure he cares. The thing about Mendoza is, and Torre would just mention this, he thinks work harder means throw harder, and it doesn't. And what Mel Stottlemyre and Joe Torre try and tell Ramiro is to calm down. Don't throw the ball through the backstop. When you look at it, Michael, you were calling this game, 1 run on 3 hits. To me, he looked like he was struggling, and then you look up and it's 1 run on 3 hits. Pretty good, but he throws a lot of pitches. He got better as the game went on, I think, as he got a little tired.
You know what's interesting, too, is we do put a lot of pressure on Mendoza, saying that El Duque is coming, but Mendoza's on this team no matter what. I guess the guy who should feel some pressure is the guy who pitched the 9th inning, Willie Banks, because if Ramiro Mendoza moves to the bullpen, I don't know what happens to Banks.
Well, Willie Banks will get another job. He's a good pitcher, and I'm sure they can get something for Willie Banks. There's a lot of shoddy pitching in this league, and if Willie Banks goes out every single time and gives a nice performance, he'll go someplace. It probably won't be here because you know that Hernandez is coming out. I'm still pointing to that weekend against Florida. You know, Levon and Orlando Hernandez is going to be too much for the Yankees to not do.
Now let's talk a little bit about Paul O'Neill, because we're in the clubhouse every day, and really Paul O'Neill could go 8 for 10 and still whine about something, and he was crying the last couple of days about no home run, so he finally gets on track.
Well, he said that he hit the second one harder than the first one, and I think he's still looking out to right field. This is a guy, and we've joked about this for 5 years. If he gets a single, he thinks he should have hit a double. If he gets a double, he should have hit a triple. If he gets a triple, he should have hit a home run, and if he hits a home run, he didn't hit it far enough. And the second one, he said, you know, I hit it better than the other one. Why didn't it go out? And but if you have 25 guys like Paul O'Neill, you're going to win a lot of games.
And that's why George Steinbrenner calls him a warrior, and who could ever forget that series against the Indians? Susan, you just spoke with O'Neill, and why don't we listen to that conversation that took place moments ago in the Yankee clubhouse?
Which is better, homer number 1 or homer number 200, which they both were?
Homer number 1. I just, I've been putting a lot of pressure on myself to, you know, you get late going in the season this long, you just start wondering if it's ever going to happen, and it makes it a little more difficult. And then I hit the second one better than I hit the first one. It didn't go. So
you looked a little.
I don't understand the game right now.
You looked a little surprised at the second one. You were staring at it. You couldn't believe that it didn't go out.
It made no sense to me. The ball was carrying, and for some reason that inning it didn't. So I guess I got to be happy I got the first one out. I mean, we swept another series. Dozier threw the ball great. I mean, we got a day off tomorrow. Things are good right now.
Does it kind of amaze you that no matter who Joe seems to put in there or put up, so everybody contributes?
Well, I mean, that means we have depth. I mean, we've got some guys that can play the game. We got guys that are everyday players on other teams that they're here or coming off the bench and hitting grand slams or pinch running here and doing the right thing. I mean, that all comes with just putting the right people in the right positions here. And I think you have to say a lot for the front office and the management for bringing this team together.
How good a test will playing Texas be right now?
Well, I mean, it's a test no matter who you play. I mean, you go out there to win a game. Obviously, they're scoring a lot of runs, and they're playing well. So anytime, you know, two good teams get together and they're playing well, it should be fun.
He's a beauty. I feel so sorry for Neville, his wife. I mean, he's never happy. He's never happy. It's a home run. He wanted the second one.
No, he's never satisfied.
He's never satisfied. But you never see him smile that much. Now, one guy who hit a home run today, along with O'Neill, was Jorge Posada. He was 0 for 11 coming into this game, or 0 for 10. Then he made out his first time. He looked like he was over-swinging a lot, Susan. And I'm wondering that you think, you know, start one catcher one day, start another day. You think that might be hurting them offensively?
Well, I'm not sure it does. And I think that they're both going to have to get used to this. And I think Joe Torre wants to see Posada go through these little slumps. And the fact that he came out of it, he's learning. And Torre, he's pulled all the right strings and pushed all the right buttons so far. You'll see Girardi in there. He'll obviously catch Cone. But you always put Posada in there. I think with Mendoza, I think he does very, very well with Arabu. And the home run really helped him an awful lot. And when he stops over swinging and just meets the ball, and of course it was from the left side, and he's much better as a lefty, and that had to take a lot of weight off of his shoulders.
I really wonder if you played one guy all the time, if they would completely break out of it. I think Posada would be a much steadier hitter, and now Girardi is under 200, so he might see 2 games from what Joe Torre told me before. They might start him against Cone, or with Cone, and also with David Wells. Tell me quickly about Luis Sojo. I mean, it was pretty big to get him in a game finally, and he and Swain need to get some at-bats.
Well, Luis Sojo needs to play a little bit. I think now maybe you can give Derek Jeter a day off if you need to. You saw Knobloch get the day off today. You don't give them both the day off at the same time, but now that Sojo has been in there, maybe you can do that one day on this road trip.
All right, when we return, Susan and I are going to talk about the upcoming series against the Rangers. It should be a beauty Tuesday and Wednesday night.
What's Ansky?
What?
What the hell is Ansky? Oh, this. I didn't do good at all.
Slide back. Hey, what is that? There you go. Nice, right? Yanks. Yanks. Yanks! Oh. Let's go!
Hey, kids, are you a Rangers fan? Then you've got to join the Rangers Kids Fan Club presented by Modell Sporting Goods. Check out all the cool stuff you get. Rangers merchandise, a full-color team photo, school folder, bumper stickers, 4 annual newsletters, membership certificate and ID card, a personalized birthday card, and much more. Check out the fun. The Rangers Kids Club presented by Modell Sporting Goods. Call 201-784-9600 or register at your local Modell Sporting Goods. Join today.
10 seconds remaining. Allen Houston a three. Bang! Allen Houston ties it up.
You're watching MSG Network.
We're all over it.
We understand the need for businesses to have computers that are reliable and work correctly in a cost-effective manner. Since we're a systems integrator, we can tailor a computer to meet your needs, and our certified technicians provide you the service and support if you should need it. Before you spend a lot of money on a computer, make sure it's something that can keep up with the changing times. So if you're looking for service, upgrades, or a complete system, why not do what these local companies have already done? Come to Chip's Computer Store, 779 Spencerport Road in Gates. Call us at 429-5910.
Expensive habit, hard to quit. Gotta find a way.
And I really get off on this stuff. Makes me feel good. Gonna be a good time. I'm a winner today. Hey, this was a sure thing. What am I gonna do now?
More than 250,000 New Yorkers are addicted to this kind of pot. If gambling is a problem for you or someone you care about, call 1-800-437-1611. The Problem Gambling Helpline. Hope for you and yours.
The Jeep and Eagle Post-Game Report, brought to you by your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealer. There's only one Jeep, and it's only at your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealer.
Yankees win it 10-1. They're now 20-6 atop the American League East by a game and a half over the Red Sox. Mendoza the win, Belcher the loss. And take a look at the kids running the bases here at Kauffman Stadium and scoring a lot more runs than the Royals did over the last couple of days. Big series coming up, Susan. Yankees have the day off tomorrow. They travel to Texas right now after the game, and I'm looking forward to Tuesday's game. It's going to be David Cohn and John Burkett, and this is a real good test for the Yankees because this is a very good team.
I'm looking forward to a couple of things, Michael. Of course, we know about the offense in Pudge Rodriguez and Gonzalez, but I'm interested to see about these running Yankees against a really good catcher. I mean, there's nobody better than Pudge Rodriguez. I want to see how many bases they steal, how many extra bases they take with Pudge Rodriguez behind the plate, and I think that's their biggest test.
And it'll be a big test for David Cohn and then David Wells up against a very good lineup that the Rangers put together.
And have you been watching John Wetland lately? I saw him closing out a game. That high fastball is back, and he's got that little slider and the curve going. So they're a good team, and I think this is going to be a great test for the Yankees.
Susan, thanks. See you on the bus.
Thank you, Michael. I'll be there. I'll hold your seat.
All right. That's Susan Waldman with the Clubhouse Report. A great job by her. And you've been watching the post-game report, and the post-game we talked about the Yankees beating the Royals 10-1. 19-2 in their last 21. Our next game, we mentioned it, Tuesday night, 8 p.m. is the Yankees Marriott scorecard, and Yankees-Rangers will follow at 8:30. Now, listen to this. Tonight at 7, a special MSG Sports Desk. Al Troutwig will tell you all about the Knicks' 98-81 victory over the Heat in Game 5 as the Knicks move on to play Indiana in a best-of-7 in the second round. Up next, all pro sports on MSG. Now, the ATP Tour AT&T Challenge, which was supposed to be on next, well, that'll be seen at 8 o'clock. You got that? Write it down. Good. Now, they're explaining to Ramiro Mendoza, here's how you pitch. Yeah. Now, here's Jorge Posada. Here's how you hit. Break out of an 0-for-11 slump with a home run. Nice way to do it. Bernie Williams, about a catch a day for him. Little ice cream cone on a beautiful summer day. And Arabu says, hey, you pitch like me. Not a bad job. And Paul O'Neill, all right, finally, stop it, Paul. There's your home run, number 200, the first of the 1998 season. He's still not happy. Would you stop? But look at Homer Bush, though. Homer Bush is happy. So is Willie Randolph. They're smiling because the Yankees have won 10-1, and they're 20-6. Good afternoon, everybody.